That's smart. You're right about that. Look at
All
Santa
right,
Claus.
all right,
Santa
all right,
Claus.
all right.
The boy got the
Shelter Claus.
Y'all stupid.
Yes, sir.
This is the place where sports opinions collide. That is sports. I'm your host, Kenneth B. Inch. Joining me on the show, we have Spike Luke,
What's up?
FIFO 24/7,
What it do?
Nikki Duce,
What's happening?
and Max Headroom. What up, man? You don't remember that show, Shelter, from way back in the day, bro?
Who is it? I was gonna look
I
it up.
used to be on HBO, man.
I was gonna say he looked like the pill from Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, Max Headroom is like a AI character, but anyway, but yeah, I would say it was before your time, but I'll be lying.
You ain't had to title. You ain't had to title the episode like that, bro.
I didn't see your message.
Nah, you been sending the message. I sent the message that. You been sending the message that way. All right, bro.
What's the title?
That was an accident.
What's the title?
Don't ask the title. They can read.
hey, you lucky.
You ain't watching YouTube. You can't read.
You lucky. I refrained from getting in the damn chat last night.
No, you did. You had, bro. He said what he want to
flame
say.
you.
But this nigga don't
I
say.
said, I'm gonna see this nigga live on Tuesday. So he
this,
can't run.
I'm gonna say this, y'all. This nigga, we have a group chat for Dead End Sports. This nigga don't say nothing for days. I forgot he in the chat.
Months.
This nigga,
I hate Group Me, dog. I just because I can't stand the platform.
The app is raggedy. The Group Me app is a raggedy ass app.
What you mean?
It's a raggedy ass app, man. Like the double post, the pitch, it's just raggedy.
Yes.
It's raggedy. It's just
I
raggedy.
mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of with him.
You like them?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
It's Q's fault.
Q don't have a fucking iPhone.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
problem.
Q. Don't tell me Q got it. It would be him. It would be him to have an
He's the
Android.
only one that don't have an iPhone, bro.
Bruh.
If he had an iPhone, we'll be golden.
Wow.
You holding us back, man.
He tried to stop the revolution. He ain't trying to submit to Apple.
Yep. So, but I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, man, thank everybody for hanging out with us again. We had a lot to talk about. This is, of course, the best live sports talk show on YouTube. No filter, no agenda, just some fans talking about sports among ourselves and, of course, with you guys. As we get ready to kick things off, make sure you guys hit that like button, that thumbs up button. Leave some comments, say you're here. I see y'all already chatting anyway. And yeah, if you're new and not a member, youtube.com/deadendsports and sign up, support the show, become a member. Also, you guys can send in super chats as well. It helps supports the show. I don't know if we got stickers, but you can send those too if they are available. And we typically read most of the super chats towards the end of the show, unless they're relevant to whatever we're talking about. Then we try to get those in real time. So, all right, man, let's go ahead and get this thing started, bro.
It's Hot Take Tuesday, as usual. But first things first, I want to say RIP to Takeoff. That whole story is just crazy in itself, but I just want to pay my respects, and I'm sure everybody else has in their own way. But Shelton, I asked you the first question because you're the number one hater in our group chat as well. Since I'm not gonna bury the lead, y'all see what the title of the show is, so we're gonna get to it. I'm gonna let all these niggas talk, and then I'll say my piece. But Sheldon, was this loss more on Burrow and the offense, or did people underestimate the Browns' defense?
I can't put this all on Burrow, man. It is on the offense, but I think it's the offense as a whole. And I think it has more to do with Zach and his preparation than it does with just Burrow and his execution. I still think it's more on him than anything else. The Browns are not as bad as we thought they were. If they do the right things, they got people in place. You got Cooper, you got Chubb, you got pieces. Garrett on defense. But the Cincinnati team looked like a shell of itself. And they do it. They lay an egg every now and again anyway. But I blame that more on coaching than anything else.
How about you, FIFO?
I agree with Shelton on a couple of things. It's not all on Burrow. Joe Mixon really hasn't been able to get off. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't had a dominant performance yet.
Mm-hmm.
But my biggest takeaway is that O-line. I think, Joe Burrow was able to overcome that last year. But this year they're not sneaking up on anybody. And obviously Myles Garrett is a top 3 defender in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of position, Myles Garrett is that damn good. And when you know you have a porous O-line, you got to double team him more. You got to make it a point that he's not the reason why, you know what I'm saying? Like the rest of the D linemen are going to do something. Like we got to shut him out. If he gets 1 or 2 plays in the entire game, cool. He's Myles Garrett. But at the end of the day, you got to single that man out and just try to take him out the game. And he was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Jadeveon made some plays too. It just, and I also agree with Schultz's point where they don't feel they don't feel prepared. You know what I'm saying? Again, to me, the best teams have an identity. I don't know what the Bengals' identity is. You know what I'm saying? They just feel kind of lost in the sauce. They're just trying to go week to week without imposing a certain type of will. So that's the reason why, like last week when Joe Burrow had 350 and 3 touchdowns in the first half, like, okay, that looks nice. Can you do it again? I think he has a talent to, but that team is not prepared enough for him to have that type of consistency.
I already know. Louis, hate, bro. I already know your hated ass is ready, bro. He was saying that hella shit, bro.
I picked him last week.
I know your punk ass did.
Crazy.
That's why, bro. When I looked at the stats, when I looked at the stats, I was like, oh, this son of a. I was upset twice over.
No, we knew Jamar Chase was gonna be out. Everything people were saying is right. And
what they gotta do with anything?
No, I'm gonna give you some credit here. It's Zach Taylor. It's not as much about Joe Burrow being on the field. It's not as much about Jamar Chase not being there as, like, we know Burrow's a good quarterback. We know the talent that Chase has, but we don't see them prepared to win without Jamar Chase. And you knew this was about to happen, but it still looked like the Bengals before Jamar Chase even got there. Like before he was even drafted by the Bengals, and it's just a lack of preparation. They don't look like a football team that can exert any type of pressure without Jamar Chase there, and that shouldn't be the case because they got Higgins and they got all of these mixing, and they got they have weapons to where Taylor should still be able to do what he needs to do. But you take Chase out, and boom, now he's fumbling around. It goes to your point earlier in the season about questioning Zach Taylor's coaching ability.
Fuck that. The beginning of the season, he was questioning it last year.
Yeah, he's been on his case, and it's starting to show this season. Like you said, a lot of it is like, all right, what the Bengals gonna do? We know Burrow in the bum, but you can't depend all on one. Like number one can't be your last option.
Ken, what about you? Between is it Burrow the offense, or did people underestimate the Browns defense?
You can't really. Well, if you're saying the defense, then maybe that's one thing. But you can't. I mean, this team lost four games in a row prior to last night. So one, I think they may have been due for a win. Two, they look completely different without well, I won't say completely different, but Chase, I mean, yeah, is obviously missing. And those other guys, man, T. Higgins and what's the other cat name? Boyd. We will they 2s and 3s. Like, we're gonna see what they are.
2s and 3s.
They were trying to sell us as ones and top 10 receivers and this and that.
Niggas is 2s.
You got 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You got 4 weeks. Maybe the Browns defense is as good as better than we thought they were. And they couldn't get off on them, you know, Higgins and Boyd, but we'll see what they do for the next 3 weeks. But yeah, they don't look.
Another thing
crispy.
too, we got to give a lot of credit to that Browns offense. You know what I'm saying? Look, that Bengals defense made who the quarterback name? Jacoby Brissett look damn near Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? Between him and now Amari balled his ass off. But to me, when you know that, like, that is the main guy on offense outside of Nick Chubb. We already know top 2 back in the NFL. Number 1, if you want to make the case, cool. But the way Amari Cooper was cooking them dudes, bro, he hadn't done that all year. Not like that.
No, he did. That was his third 100-yard reception. Did you watch that Jets game he had?
No, I didn't watch the Jets game. I saw the highlights.
Yeah, he was ball. He balls like every other game type shit.
That's Amari
Cooper.
But
That's right. I remember. Yeah,
he was cooking 2 DBs at a time, bro.
Cooper a beast, man. When
he
Cooper
is
come to play, like he up there. As
he
far
is.
As receivers in the league.
But it was crazy that he's having this now. Like,
with Brissett.
Yeah,
It's gonna look
not
better.
even just
It's
for
gonna
Brissett,
look-
but it just seems like I thought he would slow down by now a little bit.
Nah,
Why?
He ain't really
Because he
been-
was never really that dominant. Like he was never really a dominant receiver. Like he was never top 5 ever in his time. But he's always stayed consistent.
But he always had top 5 talent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
He was picked
sometimes-
top 5 in the draft.
You know, like
I think
he's not top, like he's not consistently top 5, but any given week he might be the best. wide
exactly,
receiver in the league.
exactly. That's what
That's
it is.
good.
Yeah.
It may look different too when Watson comes back. Like he may even get
I don't know.
better.
Niggas putting a lot of stock in
Watson
Deshaun
was
Watson,
balling
bro.
before his perv gate.
Y'all done? Y'all want y'all got
Not
y'all,
even-
y'all, y'all
so-
shit
so
to
you
say. I
know.
ain't really.
Hey,
I
and you
ain't
see, he has no Bengals
Hey,
attire this
What
week.
he said?
Huh?
No
Hey,
Bengals,
Nick.
Cincinnati, no nothing.
First of all, Cincinnati is in my blood.
I feel
nigga,
you.
you know what I'm saying?
But sometimes
bleed.
you got to take a week off when they disappoint you.
No, I wasn't disappointed. I was more so
Wait,
Lost
how
to
can
the
you
Browns,
fix your
you
lips to
wasn't
say that when
disappointed?
you said that they was the third
because,
best team in the
bruh, did I not
AFC?
put it? Y'all don't be listening to me in the chat.
Oh, he
Clearly.
said that?
In the
You
chat,
said that last week.
in the chat, huh? What'd you say?
You said that the Bengals were the third best team in the AFC to go to potentially
No,
win
I
the
said
Super
they
Bowl.
had a top 3 Q. I said Burrow. It's the
Nah, bro. You
the-
said that they was the third behind Kansas City and the Bills. That you put your money on the Bengals making it out the AFC, bro.
that's me. Okay, yeah. But as far as
You didn't look like that this week.
just because that's the case doesn't mean for me what I'm about to say is my disappointment. Because I said Joe Burrow in the chat. I was like, bro, he's 0-3 against the Browns, bro. I was telling everybody this. I was like, bro, this game ain't as easy what everybody is thinking. Like even reading like all the predictions, like they all expect a close game because for one, it's a division game, so you got to throw everything out the window. Shit, the Raiders beat the Chiefs, you know, every other now and then over the last few years, but the Raiders ain't never
He
been
also
shit.
said the Bengals was going to be able to beat the Ravens for the division, right?
Yeah, I was.
No, I said
just
no. I
when he
didn't.
got
I
done,
said
was
I
just
picked
gonna
the
about to ask him.
Ravens to win the division. Ken, did I not come out at the beginning of the season? I said
So
I
if
will
the
be
Ravens-
pleasantly. I said I'll be pleasant. Hold on, I'll let y'all talk. I said I'll be pleasantly surprised if they win 10 games. I picked the Baltimore Ravens to win this division. I looked at that schedule and I'm like, bruh, it ain't gonna be easy just to get back to the Super Bowl, let alone the playoffs. I'm just trying to get us to the playoffs. Did I want us to lose like that in Monday Night Football? Hell no. I hate when we lose like that in prime time. But it's to the Browns, bro. We don't do well against Cleveland, bro. That's why I don't fuck with Cleveland like that. And except for when Donnie Mitchell's there. Now I gotta go. I gotta go to a couple Cavs games. But as soon as the game started and Burrow threw that pass and it was tipped and it was the interception, I was like, we in a bad night. And it was on Halloween too. The NFL fucked us over again. But it's one of them. It's one of those type of games where it's like, bruh, it exposes what I always hate about this team when it comes down to this, when they get a spotlight on them, is that it exposes all of our flaws. And that flaw is obviously the offensive line hasn't got cohesive enough. Even though before this game, we won 4 of our last 5 games, it's more of the adjustments offensively. Defensively, I trust that guy. Even though they gave up, this is the first time they gave up a touchdown in the second half all season, but it's to Nick Chubb. So, I mean, he's the best rusher in the league. It's more so the offensive adjustments. You know, bruh, I looked at the stats. When Joe Burrow was sacked more than 3 times, they lost all them games. The only time that he was sacked less, they won every game. He's only sacked 2 times except for the Ravens game, but that took Justin Tucker to win that shit. So it's like, bruh, if you just find a way to either move the pocket or to at least get, like you mentioned,
Well, they signed offensive linemen. They were supposed.
it's
to
not
have
about the
fixed
line,
that.
but it's not lineman. It's just more so the talent. But you got to have the scheme. Like, why are you having Burrow in all wide out shotgun with him by himself? But there were times when they snapped the ball to line. The dude was right here, bro. As soon as they snapped the ball, he was right here.
So
it's like, where's the adjustment for him? Like you mentioned, a Miles Garrett or the pressure. They got Miles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. That's not gonna be an easy
It
night.
didn't even look like they game plan.
It looked like they was just playing Madden. Like, fuck, we can just throw it up and then we got the best receivers. And it's like, no, nigga, these are real NFL players. They not gonna let you just walk down the field.
Y'all might win 7 games. Y'all got the Panthers,
All
the
right, bro.
Steelers.
All right, so this is what I'm talking about. This is another reason why I don't like being objective, Nick. Because when y'all taking shit too far, and I gotta start talking shit. Because you talking about
y'all got 4. Okay,
Talk
You
about
got
the
4.
schedule. Talk about the schedule. Who
The
they got
schedule
on?
That's what I want to see.
You got
The second half is horrible. That's
you
what I'm
got
saying.
the Panthers coming up.
That's a
So
dub.
that's a game.
We got the bye week, yeah, and then we got the
Should be the
Steelers.
Steelers.
That's a dub.
Then you got the Titans.
That's a dub.
I think that'll be close.
At Tennessee, they lead this.
Have we
Yeah,
not? Did we not? Have we not beaten Tennessee before?
But
I'm
y'all-
just asking. Have we not beaten Tennessee
y'all
in
can't stop
Tennessee?
the run.
Have we not beaten Tennessee
You
before?
can't stop the
Y'all
run
have,
though.
but y'all barely beat
we
them.
stopped
and y'all
Derrick
had-
Henry.
Y'all
Was
beat
Derrick
them
Henry
on
not
a
healthy?
last play
Huh?
touchdown from Chase.
Is Derrick Henry? Is Derrick Henry Nick Chubb?
Keep in mind, Chase
He's
ain't
up there in
playing.
top 3.
He's not Nick Chubb.
Chase
top
ain't
3.
in these games too.
Huh?
Keep in mind, Chase ain't coming back until the Chiefs.
That's
game.
not what I'm talking about. First of all,
That's how y'all
what,
beat the Titans last year.
what weapons?
Malik Willis is playing.
Let's say Malik Willis and the Titans' weapons. Who they got outside of Derrick Henry?
All
Okay,
right, I give
load
you
the
that.
box. Let's
All right,
go.
I give you that. The Chiefs.
Chiefs, we got a good.
No.
We 2-0 against.
You have no
Tennessee.
chance.
That's a loss.
You have
bro.
no chance, bro.
First of all, I'm gonna be at that game. I'm gonna be live and direct at that game. Hopefully, if
Chiefs.
my plug come through, I'll be live and direct. I'll say this though:
Yeah, I got
the question should be, can the Chiefs beat us?
Yes.
That's what the question
Come
should
on.
be. If
Absolutely.
you want me to keep it a full bean, if you
Yes.
never
It's a
beat me,
very quick
if you
answer.
never beat me before, why are you questioning me? Who should you question?
Because we're Super Bowl champs.
Thank you.
No, did
We
y'all
got
go
the
to the Super Bowl last
pedigree.
year?
We got
It
the
don't
They
matter.
go
But,
to the Super Bowl
did you
last
win?
year?
But did you win?
It don't matter. Did they go?
No, it do. It do
Did
matter.
they win?
Do you got an
Did
MVP on
they
your
win?
roster?
Clay said,
Do you got an MVP on your
They got
roster?
one. They got one finger, nigga. Don't
Do-
put up
do
your
you-
hand. They
do
got a
you-
finger.
Nick, do you have an MVP on your roster?
We got an AFC
No,
title.
you don't.
We got an
No,
AFC
you don't.
championship
Then y'all got
title.
the Browns again. So just tell me that's a win.
I don't know.
And Deshaun, what week is
That's
that?
the Deshaun will be back.
Deshaun
Yeah,
Watson's
Deshaun will be
back.
back.
First of
in
all,
2 games.
all
Nick.
we gotta do is throw a couple masseuses at his ass, and he locked up again.
Then y'all got Brady.
Hey Nick, check this out, Nick. If you,
Fighting for week 15.
Brady done, bro. Let's just keep that. Let's
Fighting for his playoff life.
Brady
in week
fight for his
15.
wife. He need to worry about that.
Then y'all
first.
got. Then right after that, y'all going to New England week 16.
Well, that's dying. Who gives a fuck about that?
All right. Then y'all got Buffalo, Baltimore.
Loss.
Buffalo, Baltimore.
Hey,
That's a bad.
listen though, man.
On the-
It really
well,
don't matter though, because if you're gonna play like you did last night, it don't matter who you play. Every one of those games is doubtful, to be honest with you. And that's why I was going to ask you this question, Nick. Who's more valuable to who? Is Chase more valuable to Burrow or Burrow more valuable to Chase?
I don't think you could ask. If you want me to be honest, I don't think you could ask that question after just one game. Like you have to see at least the most. Like even when
we
they
seen
asked
the whole season without him.
Well, even when they asked that question about what is Patrick Mahomes without Tyreek Hill, it was crazy they asked that once again because it was like a 6 sample size with like 6 games or something like that, where we saw Patty without Tyreek and we saw that he was above 500 without him. So that's why I'm saying like these 4 games that you mentioned, we're gonna see what Burrow is without Chase, and that's what I'm more interested in.
But let me answer that because because when people were asking about the whole Mahomes Tyreek thing, I firstly said they're going to be successful without each other because they're dynamic and one isn't necessarily dependent on the other, right? Like, you know, I'm not throwing shots at your squad, but Dak looked way better with Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper looked way better with Dak, right? You separate them, it's like, they're both questionable.
That's fair.
Mahomes, as long as a wide receiver, you don't even have to get open, bro. I'm gonna extend the play long enough, and I have the arm talent to get it wherever I need to get it to. So Mahomes is gonna look good with whoever is out there, as long as you give him at least one guy in Kelsey, right? Like every quarterback need a guy, right? So to me, the whole Tyreek thing was okay. When I look at Jamar and Joe Burrow is fine without Jamar, and Jamar I think will be fine without Joe. I think that they're independently great. They don't have to be together. I think you give Jamar an adequate quarterback, he gonna put up numbers.
That's the reason. Like for me, because of how bad this line played, like on Monday night.
You mean
I'm
our
not-
season for 2 years?
I'm more.
now?
I'm just more particular. This is the first game without Chase. That's what I was saying on Monday night. Like I don't want that to be the story. Like Burrow can't do shit without Chase, because it's like, bro, give it. If you tell me over 5 games, these 4 or this stretch where he's out with the hip injury, that Burrow is under 500 and he can't throw a touchdown, then yeah, we can have a conversation. But up until that point, it was a horrible offensive line game. That's why I looked at it. Like I've seen this nigga with Chase get sacked 9 times, they still win the game. So it's like he can overcome it, but at the same time, if you take away his best weapon and still give him a shitty line, how is he supposed to win a fucking
it's
football
way more
game?
difficult.
Like you know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying?
I think
Yeah,
Joe-
I was gonna say he needs he does need help from those receivers too, because there were a couple times when he had time, but they just didn't get open. And Cleveland was playing without their top corner as well, so what just like it was, you know, it was kind of even on that side. So the receivers got to help him too.
I think that Jamar Chase is like he that dude. I like Jamar Chase. However, I think he's pretty much at his ceiling. I think that Joe Burrow benefits more from Chase right now because Joe Burrow is still going to continue to get better and be a better quarterback. I'm not sure if you can see Jamar Chase getting a lot much better than he is already. So it does a lot more for Joe Burrow to have Chase on the field.
What was your expectation of Chase going into the NFL?
I thought Chase was going to be that dude.
Going into the NFL?
Absolutely. I had a whole argument with our group chat. They were saying they should have took Penny Sewell, the dude from the Lions. And I was like, absolutely not. I thought Chase was going to be a generational dude. But however, I think that he's there already down there. He can get better, of course, but he's near his ceiling. I think Burrow can get a lot better. And that's going to just to do with reps and being in the NFL. Because we seen him a year before Chase got there. And he was okay. It was sporadic. It was up and down. You seen flashes. Then once he got some familiarity with Chase, somebody who he had in college and he was good and had one of his best seasons with, we seen him get better. He's going to continue to get better. Joe Burrow is a dude. However, Chase is better now and benefits Burrow more.
Can this Browns roster compete for the playoffs with Watson?
No. I think they'll be out of it by then.
I agree with that. Because I think that roster, and I've said it for the last 3-4 years, like it's one of the better rosters in the NFL. But again, when you have, the third or fourth best quarterback currently, right? Not with Deshaun, because Deshaun's not going to play until week 12. But right now, I don't think Jacoby can keep them in the race because this would be the perfect time to have Deshaun quarterback in the squad because the Bengals are very questionable right now, right? They're very up and down. The leader of the pack is the Ravens, and Pittsburgh is going through pretty much a rebuild. You know what I'm saying? They got rid of Chase Claypool today. They're starting a rookie quarterback. TJ Watt is hurt. So I think this would have been the perfect time to have Deshaun in there, getting reps for taking a whole year off, getting acclimated with the run game and how they want to play. But by the time he gets in there, I agree with Ken, they're probably going to be out of that race. And I think this is going to be the best opportunity for y'all to sneak into a wild card situation because as up and down as you've been, I think the Browns have been even more inconsistent than that.
I think the NFL, there's a lot of just super high teams. There aren't that many teams that have like separated themselves from the pack like we thought they were going to be going into the season. So I feel like you can make a case for them to everybody at this point, except for the top three.
Or bad to y'all?
It's interesting. I don't know if it's good or bad. It's more interesting because it's like, all right, what are these playoffs going to look like?
I think it's good because the NFL year in, year out is based off of parity. You never know realistic. There's always like a top 3 or 4 teams like, okay, cool. We move them over here and everybody else. But like, look at the NFC South. Who the hell would have thought the damn Falcons would have been winning the NFC South?
I had a question for weeks now.
The NFC period.
Yeah, I like it. I think just to answer that, man. I think it's a lot better than the NBA. You go in, it's like 4 teams.
Yeah,
I think with the NFL, when we get to this point,
you always got to throw your shot at the NBA, bro.
When we get to but you know what? But Lou, this season the NBA is kind of in flux too. Like we know Golden State, and think about it, Golden State isn't dominant. They've had flashes, but they're not dominant like that. There really hasn't been a
Golden State struggling right
I'm about to say you said Golden State like they was.
I think, but we can like
no, but
we might have seen never mind.
We can pencil in.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I was gonna say we ain't talking about NBA. We talking about NFL. Okay. But I was gonna ask, are we sleeping on the Falcons?
No.
Hey, bro,
No.
That was them to the best game of Sunday.
I hope that they continue to win because it looks like the Dallas would be that 5 seed. And if the Falcons can be the 4 seed and we get to come to Atlanta the first week, I'd love it.
What's crazy is that
they will get put out the first week whenever they play.
Who?
The Cowboys.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we gotta come to Atlanta.
They gonna face
crazy. No,
first of all, Mariota's gonna get benched for Desmond Ritter, and the UC boy is gonna do it that game.
I hope that
Boys come to Atlanta.
That's what's
He
going
gonna
on.
throw a game.
Screwed up.
Listen, man, Dak can't even find man.
First of all, you see what Zeke did at that party with that one girl.
We got Tony.
He go to Atlanta, bro. You ain't got to take the tops off.
Magic City has won many a games for the Falcons.
That is true. But it's a new Cowboys team.
Oh, okay.
New Cowboys.
Right.
That's what they always say.
So we got to come to Atlanta. It's either gonna be Atlanta or New Orleans.
Wild out, bro. You're gonna find them some white boys.
Atlanta or New Orleans. Like, we're good. I love the way it's falling out.
Okay, I don't know, bro.
But there's nothing to sleep on. I think Atlanta has some talent. Obviously, they just traded Calvin Ridley
That was going to release that
Of course.
nigga.
Yeah, so they got
I'll
some
give us picks.
compensation.
Okay, cool.
You know, I think people wrote off Mariota too early, even though I think he's
Don't
a
do that.
fringe.
Don't do that,
Trash.
I
FIFO.
think he's a fringe quarterback.
No.
What does that mean?
What I'm
Trash,
saying,
but
what I'm
we'll take
saying
him
is
for
that he's a better bridge quarter. See, look, he want to talk about what that means. Who did Pittsburgh pick up before they got the rookie? Mitchell Trubisky. I know the fucking name
French
because your
quarterback.
ass be all up on Mitchell Trubisky. This that.
Mitchell, all right.
I'd rather have Mariota.
Hey, how many games has Mitch won versus
He
Kenny
on the bench
Pickett?
now though, right?
Between
For
Kim
a
and Kenny
rookie.
Pickett, who won more
But
games?
he on the bench now, right?
I'm just saying, but that's
So-
because
so-
they
So
draft
what-
capitals
so what
on the
I'm
field.
saying- So you want to throw darts, and what I'm saying is that to me, Mariota is better than Trubisky. Mariota
FIFO,
is
he's-
more talented than Trubisky.
You saying that like, oh,
People, he's
a
actually
shit
not.
turd is worse than a shit turd with cheese.
Dog
Yeah,
shit,
obviously,
yeah.
nigga.
He's actually not FIFO. He's asked to do two different things. That's why it looks that way because the team is winning, but they're asked to do two different things on squads. You put Mariota on that Pittsburgh squad, he can't do what they need for him to do there. So what you need Mariota to do is keep the ball moving, run. Mariota, I don't even think he's gone for 200 yards other than this past week. So he really ain't done a whole
Sound
lot.
like
They
somebody else he
won.
put in the top 5.
Yeah, that's his boy. That's Jalen Hurts.
Who is that? Let me know who you're talking about.
Mariota to come in
You can't be
and
talking
play.
about my guy. You can't
Ask
be
him
talking
Mariota
about
to come
my
in
guy.
and play
But-
mistake-free football. He been doing that.
Because you can't be talking about what I think you talking about. But
We'll get to it.
you doing yeah, we definitely will. You're doing what it takes to win. And I don't fault the Falcons for having him, but they're winning not because of him. But he's just holding it down, and that's all you really need him to do. But yeah, they're winning because they winning these games by like that.
You got to start talking about Smith as coach of the year, right? Like he got to be in the conversation.
Cool.
You got to be
The Falcons coach, right?
No.
No, with Arthur Smith.
They winning
That's
the
the problem with
division.
all these trash ass mediocre teams.
They winning the division.
Bro,
The only-
y'all be
the only-
hyping
the
up
only-
guys that don't need hyping
Yeah, the
up.
Falcons
only
was gonna
two-
win.
nah, the only
I
two-
expected the Falcons to win a game, 2 games.
Nah, the only two coaches we need to talk about is Brian Dable and Pete Carroll. That's it.
Okay,
Yep.
he'll be third behind them. He'll be
It-
third
it-
behind them.
bruh,
I
it's-
need them too.
We only a third way through the season or a little bit over that.
I
We
need them too,
got
me too.
wait till we get to a 2/3.
I don't think we underrating the Falcons. Though. I think we rate them properly. That division is terrible.
My one of my in-laws is a big Falcons fan. He owns every year he has season tickets.
Mhm.
And I ran into him at Costco. And he told me that he thinks people were sleeping on the Falcons and they were going to be a lot better than
Yeah, of course he would tell you that.
It's
Eagles fans,
and that's what I
being
thought.
Falcons fans.
I just missed. I was like, whatever.
The one thing I will
And
say
these
is
motherfuckers leading
they
the
running the fuck out of that ball. It's the Giants, it's the Falcons, and I forgot what other team. But like all those teams are, I think 49ers. All those teams are like above 500 playoff teams, and it's like they all run the ball more than they throw.
They
That's
said
it.
the deep pass is down this year because the safeties are playing further back or something crazy scenario. But
Because most niggas ain't got
only
QBs.
people throwing downfield are the Bengals. And it was one other
The
team.
Chiefs,
Chiefs, yeah, of course.
And the
probably the
Dolphins.
Bills. It has to be the Bills too.
It was
right?
those 3. It was the Bengals, the Chiefs, and the Dolphins. The Bills, they said, don't
But
even.
the Falcons ain't really beating
Nah, but you know what was crazy about that Falcon game? I thought somebody was going to mention it. Who's that quarterback number 11?
PJ Walker.
Hey,
Sheldon, boy.
that motherfucking throw to Moore.
Hey, he still
Hey,
hey,
hell of a
Moore,
throw.
hey, he still has some like heat on that. Like
Yeah.
Moore
He put
could
it
have
right
kept
there.
running. Like it was in
Bruh, he
stride.
put
Like
it
it wasn't
right
like he
there.
had
That was
He dropped that
dime.
motherfucker in the bread
that's what
basket,
time
and he burnt 2 DB. Look,
Bro, that was the most Falcons play ever.
it was.
Oh
It
my
was.
God,
That's
the
Atlanta
most
to the T.
Falcons.
that was the
That
most
was such a
Carolina thing
Falcons
ever.
play.
Because the nigga got he was
Yeah,
like,
helmet.
that was the Carolina.
It was. Yeah, you
Man,
right.
you lost the game off of that.
Bro, like what?
But the crazy thing to me, right? 'Cause I played DB in high school. It's like there's certain times in the game where it's like, okay, this is the one thing that can't happen. And bro,
way.
he had
But what
2
if you get
steps on
burnt?
both of y'all.
What if you get
But
burnt?
bro, but
DJ
you
Moore
get
ain't
burnt.
slow.
You can't get burned.
No, you
because
can't get burnt
the-
like
the-
the safety,
but
bro.
what if
the
you
logic
do?
is your end zone. The end zone is behind. Like nothing gets behind your back
Yes.
in the end zone.
They
There's
said
no way that you
Buffalo
can burn me
said the
that way.
same thing to Tyreek Hill.
But Tyreek
Nah, but
different
they
though.
just trying for a field goal though. So like, I still got to come up and play that. There is no way I would not be running towards the ball. Like them niggas was beat.
Yeah,
you
they
might
was
as well be
beat, bro.
asleep out there.
By at almost 2 steps.
Man, that's
Like that
crazy.
can't happen. Look. Now there are exceptions to the rule. Randy Moss, you better throw 4 people over there. Because if you put 2, he gonna bomb both of them. Tyreek Hill's another one of those dudes. There's certain dudes in NFL history that's like, okay, there are exceptions.
Not
him.
Not DJ Moore.
Not more.
Hey, let's talk to the Carolina man himself, bro. What happened? How was your heart pressure during that game?
You said what?
How
was my heart
You heard
pressure?
what I said, nigga.
I thought he was trying to act like he wasn't a Carolina man because you got
My heart pressure wasn't. No. I meant what I
Falcon
said
fan
about
with
that.
the red
I haven't moved. I ain't moved one bit on that needle. Now I will say this. I'm actually happy for what's going on in Carolina because you got a black head coach and a black quarterback. Now, in saying that, both those guys deserve jobs somewhere. So, yeah, I'm rooting for them to do well. I really am rooting for those two, because of the color of their skin and nothing else. But nah, that game didn't mean nothing to me.
It's racist.
It's your list.
Black and Northern
Y'all
black
know.
quarterback.
That's it. And, hey, but
Where's your PJ Walker jersey?
I never got one, but if I had a Carolina jersey, it would have been his back then. But nah, that's one game. PJ is not that guy. Don't get confused. PJ is not like
he
that.
looked like that guy on Sunday. He did everything he could. He did everything he could to win the game.
He did, which should say a lot for Steve Wilkes, because I would have never thought PJ would have ever done nothing. And watching that, I was like, who is this dude, man? And I know he played well in the XFL, but he ain't done nothing close to that in the NFL. So to see him drop those dimes and play like that, I was like, dang, that's shocking. But I give Wilkes a lot of credit because that team looks different in 2 weeks than it did the whole time Matt Rule was there. So yeah, I want Wilkes to get a shot somewhere.
It's not just Matt Rule. It's that boy Baker too. But hey, that man should be out of the league.
That's what I'm saying.
I called that shit about 3 years ago.
It should have been. There you go.
Sheldon, I got a question for you. Was Lamar's win over Tampa Bay meaningful?
Not really, because it was in a sense that they needed a win, and to keep that lead in that division. So it was meaningful to them because every win counts. But that Tampa Bay team is a shell of itself right now. Tom Brady got too much going on outside. Got injuries all up and down the defense. They just a shell of themselves. I think Tampa Bay is going to try. I still think they're going to win the division, but they're not the Tampa Bay that we're used to. So really, that's just the game.
You said ain't saying much, Luke.
No, winning that division ain't saying much. NFC South.
No.
But to answer your question about Baltimore, I think it was a big win because their schedule is soft coming up. This was a semi-meaningful game. It's still Tom Brady. I feel like the Bucs gonna make the playoffs because they're gonna win that weak division. But this was a chance for the Ravens to start a long win streak going into the playoffs. They got a real soft schedule coming up, so this was them getting it right.
You cared about that win at all, FIFO?
I agree with Shelton. I don't think it was like a bigger picture win. It was just, we need this to stay ahead of everybody. And to Spike's point too, you want to start going in because we're middle of the season already. You want to start going in with good habits and wins that maybe you shouldn't have won, but you eked it out. So I don't know. Like I feel kind of conflicted when you ask. I'm like, nah, but I don't know. Like I really feel like it was a good win, but I don't know if it means like if it's like something huge. I just think it's kind of one of those things that you need and you'll be good later on down the road about it. But I don't think it's like a huge thing for him. But I think it is good for him.
What about you, Ken?
I mean, you stole a win on Thursday. Those games are always horrible. And you beat Brady. Maybe they feel, good about that. But nah, I mean, I kept waiting for them to lose the game or for them to blow us some kind of way. So,
I don't know. I think any game Lamar wins the season is a win. It means something. That's another. Yeah, you got to add about $10 more million on that check. Every time he wins.
Not the way they've been playing.
I think the number's set though for them, right? Like, is it just is a point of are they gonna guarantee his money or not?
My thing is they're not gonna guarantee his money. He knows that.
Yeah.
So what's his other option?
Somebody will.
I think Miami gonna call him. They're like, hey, we see how you see what Tua been doing?
Mm-hmm.
He can run somewhat like your offense.
Mm-hmm. We'll give you a first round
We'll give
pick.
you him 2 first rounds in the next 5 years.
Mhm.
You give us that other little black boy you got.
We gotta have.
Hey, you put that's the fastest team on earth. You put Lamar with Tua. With Lamar with Waddle and Tyreek Hill and
oh my God.
He said in the backfield too. He fast as hell too. He like the fastest running back.
Them
in the
boys
league.
gonna average 50.
He is.
Damn.
That's a track meet.
If that don't win a Super Bowl in the year, they all shit ball.
Yeah, because there's first of all, there's not we're seeing it. There's not a defense that has 2 DBs to contend with both Waddle and Tyreek. That's already a lot. And then Gesicki, he's eating up that middle because the DBs can't keep up, and then the linebackers, you can't play one-on-one with Gesicki. And then already with no wide receivers or wide receiver talent like that, Lamar's running down everybody. He's still number 5 or number 6 in rushing. So what the hell you going to do? You put all of that speed around? Nah, man, like that would be unfair. Like that's unfair.
Question for y'all: you the Dolphins, you hear this, you listening to this show, you think, damn, that's a good idea. You call the Ravens, and the Ravens, do they think, well, I don't want to let them go for nothing? I'll take Tua.
Damn right.
Do a trade. Would you take that trade if you're the Ravens? Would you take Tua and let Jackson go because you don't want to pay Jackson?
You got to give me first round picks.
Either first round picks or you got to give me Waddle.
No. I'm not. If I'm the Dolphins, none of my offensive pieces are
this
going.
is the Ravens, bro. This is their most prized possession. This is all they got.
Bro, I'll give you 3 first round picks. I give you 3 first
What
round
the picks they got?
Tua.
Didn't they give them up for some, or do they all
No,
go?
no.
San Fran gave them picks. San Fran gave them.
They still got
They still got their. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I'll give you 3 first rounders. I'll give you Javon Holland. Whatever you want on defense, plus 3 first round picks and 2. But none of this offense, you're not touching none of this. No, sir.
But you listen if you were the Ravens.
Oh, you fucking right. You right. Because Tua would be cheaper.
Yeah.
Tua's gonna be
and
way
he's
cheaper.
serviceable.
Exactly.
It's better than getting a rookie.
And then with all of those draft picks, shit, I'm loading up my team.
Well,
and then I might be able to pay Roquan because they just traded for Roquan.
I got defense.
Yeah, I hated that move, by the way, too. When I saw that nigga, I was like,
oh, well, you hated it for
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Pat Queen and Roquan Smith. And I know, Ken, you calling out Pat Queen. You said he called the Baltimore, or what's the shit? What's that little local paper in Baltimore? The Orient, whatever.
The Sun, is it the Sun?
So yeah, he seen that they was talking shit, but I fuck with Pat Queen. But I want to talk about one team that I feel like it's probably the hottest team in the league right now, and that's Philadelphia
Cowboys.
Eagles. Shut up. Y'all beat up on the Bears. They beat up on the Bears, and you see them going down with a parade. Nigga, y'all are 6-2. Chill out. But Philly, Ken, has Philly truly been challenged this season?
No, they haven't. And we kind of mentioned earlier about the parity in the league and how everything is kind of down across the board. And yeah, I think it's causing us to hype teams and players that normally wouldn't get hyped. And
I'm glad you said it.
I just got to be consistent, man. Like we're it's just not looking good. They haven't been challenged yet, but I think that it's gonna work out to their advantage because at the end of the day, you still have momentum going into the playoffs, and if everybody else say sorry and you just better than sorry, then that'll be good enough to get you a game or two. But I haven't seen anything that impresses me.
Sheldon, you got anything to say to that?
No.
Well, let me ask you this question, Sheldon. Based off that game, that just this last weekend that both Tyreek Hill had and AJ Brown, which wide receiver would you rather have this season moving forward?
You said this season moving forward between AJ Brown and Tyreek Hill? Give me Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is he's just explosive. He can make something happen out of nothing. Now AJ tough, and ain't too many people I would select over AJ. But
your boy Minka got 3 touchdowns. The same. I thought I was watching replay. It was the same touchdown over the shoulder. I'm like, nigga. He even had to point it out. Like,
AJ
nigga.
not a bad dude, man. But I still take Tyreek Hill. He's more talented, man. I'm gonna put him, and he can. like AJ Brown over the top. Yeah, it looks great, but Tyreek Hill from any moment, place on the field, like I may take this to the house. It's a different type of speed.
Yeah. See, and like to me, what AJ Brown possesses, you can work to get that. Like he's big and physical, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, everybody doesn't have the frame, but if you have the frame, like I've seen more AJ Browns than I've seen Tariq Hills, right? Like
Yes.
T.O. was very much so AJ Brown.
DK Metcalf is AJ Brown.
Metcalf, Megatron.
What do you consider Tyreek Hill?
Shit, name another one.
Yeah, I haven't seen nobody.
Deshaun Jackson?
No,
Nah.
stop.
No.
Deshaun Jackson didn't
No,
take the
because
top off
you
like
know
that?
what? No, he could take the top off, but he wasn't physical 20
You can't
yards
catch
and
a
in.
slant and take him break
Exactly.
a couple tackles like Deshaun Jackson. Either he gonna
I'm
stop.
just talking
where
about
he
explosive.
land,
We're just
or it
talking about
might be over the top of
explosiveness.
six. He
No,
had
no,
explosive speed.
because you're talking
But you can't
explosiveness
limit
just
it.
over the top.
He
It's not just over the top.
did the same thing. Tyreek Hill came as a punt returner, right? Deshaun Jackson was a punt returner, or like he was returning kicks.
But
And all that
Deshaun
shit.
Jackson is
Yeah.
They both
different.
were in the same mode, right?
But
Nah,
that's
no,
where the comparison stops.
They're saying it closer in the chat, and y'all are absolutely right. Steve Smith is probably the closest thing to him.
But he's two
Tyreek
times
Hill.
faster.
Yes.
But that's Steve Smith.
Right.
two times.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, what Steve Smith had over him was the hands and the power. Because Steve Smith will fight
Better
people.
receiver.
He'll
Steve Smith was a better natural receiver
Yes.
than Tyreek Hill
Yeah.
is. Tyreek Hill is just a better weapon.
Yes.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill
Yes.
is just explosive.
To answer
So,
your
yeah.
Eagles question, though, I know they haven't been tested. Jalen had a great game. That was a great game that he had this week. AJ Brown had a great game. The Eagles look good, but to Ken's point, I mean, it's a parity-driven league this year.
Yeah. I agree. They have not been
I'm
tested.
not scared of them at all.
They
But
got
they
tested
did-
by. What about the Vikings?
I'm not scared of them at all, bro. What the Vikings? Like I picked the Vikings to go to the Super Bowl, obviously.
So how you not
That's so
scared of them?
crazy.
Then?
I'm not scared. But that was as a Cowboys fan, I wouldn't be scared if we got to go beat Kirk Cousins or Jalen or anybody's that's at the top of the league this year.
So let me ask you this though.
Mhm.
Like, fine if you don't want to believe in Jalen Hurts,
Okay.
right? Cool. He came into this week only having 6 touchdowns. He left the week 9 touchdowns. Right. He didn't throw any interceptions. As much as you don't want to believe in Jalen, you don't believe in the scheme.
No, I think the Eagles will win that division. I picked them at the beginning of the year. I do believe in the scheme too. The Eagles have a great football team. They may even catch lightning in the ball and go to the Super Bowl this year. However, if we're talking from a long-term aspect, if they're banking on Jalen Hurts being their franchise quarterback, and me as a Cowboys fan looking at that, having to play them twice a year, that doesn't scare me. He's not gonna be able to do this 3-4 more years. Like, this is the year for this to happen. So they better get as much as they can and go 18. They better go 18-0 and win the Super Bowl.
Hey,
That's what
don't
better
say
happen.
that.
Okay. Look.
That's actually a great point and a great take.
This is where I disagree with you. Is that as long as that head coach is there, right?
Mhm.
And obviously they have an eye for talent. Obviously, they just made a trade for a pass rusher as well.
I love how we talking about the Eagles. Like niggas was saying, like he talking about obviously they have an eye for talent. Obviously, if the
Right.
head coach when the hell was you talking about the Eagles head
Right.
coach before this season?
Hey,
When the hell was you talking about Howard Roseman and them niggas and the moves they was
Hey.
making before this season?
hey,
It was
look,
the opposite.
look, it looked good now.
It does.
It looked good now. Hey,
People were talking about the
aren't you the
Eagles.
one that say when
People were
new
talking about the
evidence,
Eagles
you-
roster, though, to be fair. They were talking about the Eagles roster going into the season, that it was stacked. We just didn't know how Jalen Hurts was going to perform. Now that we see he's playing mistake-free, a coach's son football like he's supposed to as a quarterback in that position, then, hey, it looks good.
Hey, let me ask you something, Spike. Who did Dallas lose to in the playoffs last year?
Why?
I just want to know. I'm just asking.
Hold on, I got a question for Sheldon. He asked a question. Hey, Sheldon, how many touchdowns did Tyreek Hill and Jamar Chase had this past weekend? The same. Let's move on.
Oh man.
FIFO,
Mhm.
is Buffalo peaking too early?
Good question.
Because they shit the
that's a
bed
damn
that
good
second
question.
half. That second half was horrendous.
Yeah, it was. They only got a
They
field
got
goal.
3 points and they
Yeah.
threw 2 picks. Well, he threw 2 picks.
Yeah. I think obviously that's them losing to Kansas City the way they did. They definitely had a chip on their shoulder coming into the season. They had a point to prove. I don't think that they have peaked all the way. I don't think that they've played their best football, but I definitely think they're going through a lull right now. sometimes when you have such a disheartening loss like they did, like I said, they came in hot. Now it's kind of like, okay, well, we got to play another team. We got to play another team. We got to play another team. It's going to be on their coach to really get them to start playing the best football 2-3 weeks going into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I think I don't want to say that they peaked too early, but I still believe in them playing their best football going into the postseason. So that's why I'm kind of like in between answering your question directly. Because I still believe that they could play better football than what they're playing right now.
It's really a yes or no. It's not really even an open-winded question. I said, did they peak too early? Yes or no?
Yeah, it's hard for me to say yes. Because
so it's a no then.
But I think I'm just 50-50 on that one. I'm 50-50.
I need objective Lou. Yes or no?
I don't think so, because I think that they have tasted that taste of defeat against the Chiefs last year in that game that we keep praising Patrick Mahomes for. So I think that they have a focus, unless they get injured or something. I think they're gonna be able to keep this rolling. They've gotten there and lost. So this right here shouldn't mean shit to them.
I feel like we always talk about that game that they lost to Kansas City, like, oh, Kansas City gets praised for that. I feel like the Buffalo has gotten more praise for that loss than Kansas City got praise for winning.
Well, they've looked good
because not only did they win, they lost that game, and everybody's like, oh, this is the next Super Bowl contender team. They literally changed the NFL rules so that never happens again.
Make sure that was.
So we make sure that if we ever see this happen, the white boy gonna have a chance. It's like, oh my gosh, like Ken has Buffalo,
and that's why the Buffalo Bills will be an abject failure when it comes to the playoffs. It's just not gonna happen, bro. Like, because everybody's on the bandwagon picking them. Oh my God, they almost beat Patrick Mahomes. Oh my God, how many seconds was it? 13, 6 seconds, whatever it was. And everybody looking at them like this the year, chip on their shoulder, blah, blah, blah. Man, they ain't gonna do shit when it comes to the playoffs. And looking at the schedule, I mean, shit, this is easy. This is easy. They got the Jets twice, who just lost Breece Hall. We know how that's going.
And they still got Zach Wilson. So
man, he looks horrible.
Right. Dang. The only challenge I see here are probably the Dolphins and maybe the Vikings. But shit, I don't know. Nobody. Who's afraid of the fucking Vikings?
Oh, so you put respect on the Dolphins' name now?
Yeah,
because you was a little disrespectful. Are you putting respect on the Dolphins' name? Because you was highly disrespectful.
What's respect?
That they are a threat. You was ain't nobody scared of them.
Third in the AFC East, yes.
That they're scary when they come into your field. They're not scary.
You saw the Bengals knock some sense into that reasoning, boy. That's what I was trying to tell you. That don't act like they ain't come to Cincinnati and came out with a dub. Nah, no, they didn't. We said don't come here if you thinking you're gonna just run shit.
I think the coach doing a good job in Miami.
Okay.
You said what?
I asked if Tua playing that game.
He did. Did he not? Did he not start that game? He didn't start that game.
He got hurt. Well,
he was hurt before he got it. He was hurt when he came to the game. That ain't on us. That wasn't on us.
He went into that game.
Yeah, so that ain't on us. That's injury. That's football. Niggas get hurt all the time.
Okay.
That's what you told me when that shit happened.
But they still not scary though.
I'm not scared of the Dolphins.
Number one and number 3 wide receiver in the league.
I'm not scared of the Dolphins.
The best duo.
I am not scared of the Dolphins. I'm not in the middle. I will tell you what I'm scared of.
I hope we play.
I am not scared of the Dolphins.
I hope we play.
You know why I'm not scared of the Dolphins?
And didn't they just make a trade
would
too?
The Dolphins be winning the AFCs? No, the Bills will win. So that would be.
That's what I'm saying. They're a wild card team. You can't be scared. You can't even win your division. Lou, the same reason why you told me you're not scared of the Eagles. That's the reason I'm not scared of the Dolphins. You put Lamar Jackson back there, I'm scared as fuck of them niggas. You got Tua back there. Hey, Bengals winning 27-15.
We'll figure it out.
Let's keep it moving. Hey, Sheldon, you scared of the Dolphins?
Thank you, Ken.
Not quite yet. I need a couple more weeks to see if they can keep this up because they were down to this.
I ain't watched that Lions
come
game.
back, but
you knew I was gonna say shit. They lose that Lions game. You lucky they popped off in that second half.
Good teams find ways to win. And bad teams find ways.
No,
to
luckily
lose.
there's 4 quarters in a football game. Because the first three they wasn't looking good.
Well, your team looked bad for all 3. The first 3. That's because y'all didn't score to the 4th quarter.
Okay, we 500. We good, bro. We got our.
We above 500, so we better.
Okay, did y'all beat us?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, what you mean it don't matter? Now wins don't matter.
Hey, all I'm saying is we got more wins than y'all.
Oh, okay. And all I said is when we played y'all, y'all knew what was up.
We see you in the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. I hope so. You going as a wild card, my boy.
Hey, just like you might not make it.
Hey, we still got the
You
division.
might not make it.
That division is wrapped up. We don't have to worry about that division in the East.
Dolphins got a pretty
Easy schedule?
Tough teams on their schedule,
Oh.
so they're gonna earn it.
Did they already get through the Jets?
They're gonna earn it. Let me see.
I don't think they played.
They lost to the Jets, didn't y'all?
Did they play the Jets?
Yeah, they
I remember
lost to the
Tyreek
Jets.
Hill got his ass busted by that 300-pound lineman.
Yeah, they lost to the Jets, so they lost to the Jets. They played the Jets for the final game of the season.
Mm.
That's the last one they got.
Ooh,
left,
Sauce
but-
gonna lock that nigga up too.
Nigga,
Boy, he
outta
gonna clink,
here.
clink,
Outta here.
clink. Hey,
Nobody
Sheldon,
locked him
hey,
up.
Sheldon, he gonna send him to 25 to life, boy. 25 yards. That's all he gonna see. 25 to
Oh
life.
man.
They still gonna have more than
Oh,
Jamal
man.
Allen.
Yeah, he still gonna have a goose egg in them touchdowns too.
Okay, that's cool.
All them
Zach-
yards,
Zach
he
will
nigga
get-
run around the
Zach will
whole
get it
field like a
back,
little
though.
kid
Hey,
and not in the end zone.
Jalen is the reason why, because they keep double teaming Tariq. Jalen
Okay,
get him
how many
off.
times did you do the dance when he
Well,
was?
he got two.
He did two. All right. Shit, I hate talking about this team more than anything too. FIFO, what stood out to you the most in that 49ers win against the LA Rams?
Kyle Shanahan. Hey, that man got a whole nother toy to fuck around with now. And look, and this is what I was talking about, right? Like, I still think they're a quarterback away because Jimmy.
You said quarterback. Hold on.
Hey,
This
hey,
man was saying they was gonna win
Bruh.
with Trey Lance, though.
Bro,
look, they can win with Jimmy.
what else?
And you said that they're a better team with
I
Jimmy.
did. They are.
FIFO, how much does this team need to win, bro? Do you know they're the only team that have 4 All-Pro
I know.
talent out of the whole league?
No, I feel you. I love San Fran. They still are going to be capped by Jimmy. Jimmy doesn't make the special play. Now, they got other guys that can make the special play. Obviously, we saw CMC throw,
I
run,
didn't
and catch.
even know he could do all that.
I didn't know he could throw like that.
Walter Payton and who was it?
LaDainian.
Yeah, LaDainian Thomas.
That's
I
the
know
only
he
people that have ever done that. And the last time since 05. So we're talking
And he
like
threw the-
17
He threw the
years.
ball just as good as Jimmy.
Look like
Bruh.
Yeah.
When he threw that, I said, who threw that? Like, I was like, who? Like, I had to
The
watch.
catch too, though. The
And
catch.
the catch was ridiculous. So to
That's-
me,
that's- yeah,
what
that's a
stood
strong
out to
suit.
me was Kyle Shanahan. Like, oh shit! Like, look at what he's doing now.
And that's no Debo.
And there's no Debo. And Debo is that guy for them that you put him everywhere, and it's like, okay, what is he gonna do? So now when you add Debo to that, it's like, what the hell? But the reason why I still had to mention Jimmy is because at the end of the day, it still comes down to the quarterback. And the quarterback is going to have to make a play. And to me, Jimmy is very solid. He's as solid as you can get, but I still don't trust him on making a big play. I trust the playmaker. Kittle, you got to double team him down the middle. Debo, when they move him around, you don't know what he's going to do. And then CMC now is like, bro, how the hell do you guard all of that? But at the end of the day, it's still going to come on Jimmy's arm to make a play or two to win big games. And I still don't trust it. Now, the reason why I liked it with Trey is because I don't trust Trey's eyes, right? He can't read no damn defense, but I trust Kyle Shanahan to put him in positions. I trust the arm talent to make the play. And then when all else fails, he could run. He could go get you 3, 4, 10 yards on a scramble where Jimmy's damn near a statue. So that's the reason why I still watch him. And I'm like, I'm frustrated because I know that the limitation is still Jimmy. They got everything, but the limitation is Jimmy. But they look great. And I think that they still might not win the division because Geno balling.
I was just about to ask.
Geno Ken,
And that's
put
crazy.
respect on Geno's name.
And that's crazy.
Geno
And
is
that's-
balling.
MVP talk.
And we gonna get
Yes.
we gonna get to that.
I'm not saying he the favorite.
I'm gonna
but
say
you
that
gotta put him in the
right now,
conversation.
Geno may be top 5 right
He
now.
leading the league in completion percentage.
He may be top 5 at
73
5.
something.
11 touchdowns.
He
and I
got
think 3
Ken,
picks.
you gotta say he top 5 at 5.
Hell no.
MVP
Again, I go
Geno.
back to what I said earlier. We hyping up
Nah.
players. and
Nah.
stuff.
Hey,
MVP
he was
Nah.
no.
Normally
Did you
would
watch
not
that?
do,
I had to
bro.
watch that Giants game upset, but at the same time, Geno was dropping dimes.
MVP
Dimes,
Geno.
bro.
See, Tyler Lockett didn't know what to do. He was like, "Hold on, this is Geno Smith."
that Tyler Johnson hit him in the face, man. In the face.
Geno put
He
the
didn't
guy
He
even
couldn't believe it. He was like,
Telling you,
Yo,
man, Geno
Bro, I'm
here.
telling you, but I'll say this though: the more the most hilarious thing about this division, we got all that talent in San Francisco. There was a lot of talent in LA. None of that matters because they all losing in the division ran by rookies. That whole Seahawks team is run by rookies. Yeah. They got a UC product, the other side of sauce, Kobe Bryant. Not the one RIP to the real one, Walker. But we got another one on the other side. They got Tariq Walker. They got a couple other. Yeah, they got a couple other linemen or like the linebackers and shit, bro. Pete Carroll may be
credit. Yeah, no, I'm giving them all the credit. Yeah. All the credit.
Pete Carroll may be back.
And it's a lot of people taking shots at Russ like he was a reason.
Lockett walked it back.
He walked that back.
He said, I always say that. I've always been saying that.
Okay. Because what did he say? He was
like, you can see
it's easier to win when everybody ain't trying to take all the blame.
You see what happens.
Person ain't trying to take all the blame. So,
but in terms of San Fran, arguably the most talented team in that division. I think it's going to be a dogfight to the end of the season with Seattle. If Geno keeps playing like that, obviously I think Seattle can win that division, but I think San Fran's right there. That's crazy. You're saying that the San Francisco 49ers are just right there below the Seattle Seahawks. Wow. Run by Geno Smith. But Nick, the thing is that San Fran for the last 3-4 years they've battled injuries. They're still battling injuries. They just lost their starting quarterback. Kittle lost time. Debo didn't play. Then they go trade for an injury-prone running back in CMC. So the injuries is what's holding them back.
Is going to Seattle still a thing? Would that scare you guys? Like if they do win that division, you're probably looking at the 3rd seed.
I'm more scared because it's like I don't know.
Had to go there. I don't know. And beat Geno.
I would be more scared of Seattle than of the Dolphins.
That shit sounds fucking crazy.
It does sound crazy.
I'll be more scared of Seattle than the Dolphins because with Seattle,
NFC, I'm talking about in the playoffs.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just talking about teams because with Seattle, I don't know who the fuck to go. Who's really good?
And Metcalf, is Metcalf?
Yeah, he played.
Yeah, he played. He played good.
I understand, but like, how do you game plan for this? Like, I don't know what Geno can and can't do.
Hey, but that running back though,
Walker.
Bro,
it's like they made
big and fast, bro.
It's like they made Cam Chancellor a running back. Yes. That's what he looked like.
Yeah.
Where did he play?
They found that nigga.
I think he played at Michigan State.
Bruh, that dude. Hey, look, if I was a DB, I'd be like, hey man, y'all don't pay me enough to tackle that. You better get some linebackers out here.
It was niggas out there making business decisions.
100%.
Hey,
100%.
Shelton, can this version of Jimmy G last for the rest of the season?
He went to Michigan.
Yeah, he can. He did go to Michigan State, and I'm mad because I had him on my fantasy team and dropped him because he was out at the beginning of the year with a hamstring. So I was like, man, this boy, we don't know what this boy gonna be, but I should.
We ain't gotta ask for your bullshit fantasy advice, bro.
Fantasy update, we appreciate it.
Hey, that was a
we know why you're losing because you're the GM.
That was a fantasy mistake, but yeah, he can. I mean, he won a playoff game last year. I forgot the team he beat, but won a playoff game last year, so I don't see why. What team did he beat, Spike?
What team did who beat?
Jimmy G.
In the playoffs?
Yeah, because I'm saying he asked me about Jimmy G going forward. I said, yeah, he still can. He won a playoff game last year with lesser talent.
He beat the Packers.
Oh, but he did. but he won with lesser talent. So I don't see.
Like I told you, I think Jimmy G. Like we see the cap is the Super Bowl, so I'm not scared that he can't get them to where they need to be. And then if we're talking about them being in the Super Bowl and Kyle Shanahan calling a great game with Debo and CMC, that can happen. Like Jimmy G can win a Super Bowl and go back to New England next year because they're not going to pay him. I can see that happening. I would.
Yeah. I mean, with the parity in the league we talk about, and a defense as strong as theirs, they definitely got a chance no matter what. You got a running game, you run the ball, and you got that defense. You got just as good a chance as anybody else in the league.
Let's talk about Seattle, bro.
Yeah.
Geno.
What's going on, Ken? We got to.
I'm just saying, maybe it's Pete Carroll all over again, resurrecting the Legion of Boom in a different format. You remember ain't that how Russell Wilson won?
Yeah, the Legion of Baby Boomers.
Yeah, great defense and a run game. And all these years, we were looking like, oh man, Russ this, Russ that. And now we see where Russ probably really was all this time. But it's good for Geno, but y'all just be going too far.
MVP, man.
Y'all just be going too far, man.
MVP.
He top 5 at 5.
He's
right
leading
now.
the league in completion percentage. He got 11 touchdown passes and 3 picks.
He got 13 touchdown passes.
73%,
This
kid.
man picked.
He got 13
He picked
touchdown
one
passes.
stat. He picked the one
That's
stat.
the stat.
I'm not saying it's a bad stat. It's not a bad
73%.
stat, but it's just the only stat.
This is what they gave Tom Brady praise for all these years: completion percentage.
And Drew Brees.
But you know the thing that's important, though. We talked about it earlier. When they need a big play this year, Geno's making that play.
Yep.
We talked about that pass hitting Lockett in the face. That was a dime he dropped. And the thing about Lockett is Lockett dropped a touchdown in college, and he's been tripping ever since. Like, I will never ever drop another touchdown pass. So he went right to the sidelines, and I don't know if y'all saw him, but he was distraught.
Yep.
And what did Geno do? He came back that next possession and dropped another dime on him. So in saying that, man, that's huge, man. That goes huge, and it rides over into the other things. It made it easier for Walker to slide in because Walker's not even a starting running back. Rashad Penny was a starting running back. So in saying that, it makes everything else flow smooth when you got a quarterback operating at this level. So Geno deserves a ton of credit for all this. I'm telling you, he does. He's playing out of his mind. Now, will it continue in the future? I don't know. I can't predict that because we've seen Geno before. And once teams get used to it, you can kind of game plan around it a little much. So I get where Ken's coming from, but at the same time, to this point, Geno deserves all the credit in the world.
100%. So Shelton, I agree with you where I'm not saying Geno's the long-term answer because we've seen Geno before right now. And if you told me he was going to be the starting quarterback, that's the reason why I was like, nah, bro, they're not going to win the division. Yeah. But my own 2 eyes, I've seen this man drop dime after dime after dime. Ken. So again, past this season, I don't know. Right now,
if he can keep it up.
Earlier, this man said, man, PJ Walker dropped a dime on DJ Moore.
No, he did. but I didn't say PJ Walker was balling, though.
Geno been doing it.
Geno been balling.
You about to hype up PJ
No, I
Walker,
wasn't.
bro.
No, I wasn't. I hyped up the throw. Hyped up the throw.
Like, man, who's that quarterback?
That was a hell of a throw. That was a hell of a throw. Hey, Ken, I ain't passed no batons now. I don't know why you running right now. I don't know why you running. Hey, that was a hell of a throw. And that's all I said. But with Geno, Geno has been consistent since week 1, dropping I didn't want to believe it. Well, okay, that's just week 1. Okay, that's just week 2. Well, goddamn.
Yeah, week 8, week 9.
Now we'll have to put some respect on Geno's name. I feel like
we do
if he's a Pro Bowler. Right?
Oh,
100%. Agree to that? If he top 3 quarterbacks,
bro, they got done with the Pro Bowl shit. So at this point, you know what I'm saying? We know who the stars are. We know the stars are. But if he can hold it up all season, if Geno can win this division, he's a starter.
But Spike, you do get credit.
The division got harder with the talent they added.
Spike, you do get some credit though, because I'm telling you, man, they show Pete Carroll. They were showing a play again in that Chargers game where they had a penalty. The tide was shifting. And Geno was about to lose his mind on this play. Like, he was going crazy. And Pete Carroll looked at him and said, Geno. And he did like this and touched his chest, like, calm down. The next play, Geno threw a dime. It's like Pete Carroll got this control thing. And he moving his he making it work right now, boy. He working that magic. Yeah. So like I said, you can't argue with success. And that ain't an eat.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like how you said that. I was like, bro,
get out shit.
He was like, he told his black buck to calm down.
Hey,
I'll take it back, man.
Pete Carroll's looking like the young Pete Carroll when he went to Seattle.
Like it again.
Yeah, and you can see like the team is lighthearted, spirited.
Russ must be hard to work with,
bro. And then that defense. It looks like he's rebuilding what that Legion of Boom was. A different version because they ain't got no Cam Chancellor back there. They ain't got nobody laying the wood like that. But in terms of the coverage, like they got that. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the run game, how they look, like
it's gonna be hard to like Russ if Nathaniel Hackett get fired and he come out next year and be like, man, dude, is an asshole. Is he the reason I lost? Carroll gonna be like, I told y'all.
Let's get to this conversation before we wrap up to our weekly picks. It's a conversation I want Ken to start off with. It's easy to say that the QB draft class of the 2021 year might be the worst in recent history, because we got Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones. And I was recovering from my Halloween night from Saturday to Sunday, and I was up drinking some ginger ale, watching that Broncos Jacksonville game. Damn near took my heart of love out of football watching that game, bruh. Trevor, I asked you the question, kid. My bad. Go ahead.
They're not showing a lot of promise. Mac Jones showed a little bit, then he regressed. Justin Field ain't got shit to work with. It's hard to really evaluate him, but he hasn't looked great. Zach Wilson looks horrendous, and we all felt he was a bunch of hype anyway. Who else?
Trey
Lance.
He
can't even get on the field.
Justin Fields
with his top 5 arm.
He said Justin Fields.
I said Justin
Matt Jones.
And Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be the one.
They said coming out of college he was supposed to be the best prospect.
And
Andrew Luck.
I was
since Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I was on Trevor Lawrence, man. I believed in that guy. I thought I thought the first year when he was at Clemson, I'm like, oh man, this guy got it.
It was hard not to believe looking at
But
him.
man, that second year, he had the Jameis Winston. Remember, Jameis Winston was good that first year. That second year, he fell off. Same thing happened to Sam Darnold.
But they threw that year away.
They threw it away, but he kept throwing a lot of interceptions and shit like that. I'll never forget. They talked about how bad Jameis was. They didn't talk about it with Sam Darnold, and they didn't talk about it with Trevor Lawrence. They kept making excuses. And now here he is, and they made excuses again. It was, even on this program, it was Urban Meyer's fault. I said, y'all make a good point. I'll give him some time.
I came at the top of the year after that year went out. I was like, look, we looking at this nigga now this year.
And then now it's Doug Peterson, a Super Bowl winning coach. That made Nick Foles look good, right?
He beat the greatest.
Beat the greatest. Had Wentz looking good. And then Wentz got hurt. Nick Foles dropped right in there.
Ain't missing a beat
with Trevor Lawrence, man. And Trevor Lawrence supposed to have more talent. So this draft class is not looking good at all. And at some point, we're gonna have to pull Trevor's card, bro.
I'm pulling the card now. I'm sorry. I seen too much of the games, bro. He literally threw that pick to lose the game. Like all he had to do was it was a 2-minute drill.
Goal from the 1. It's crazy. Throwing a pick. First and goal from the 1, throwing a pick.
And it was an out pick. So if anything, you could just out, he leads the league in like missed throws type shit. Like just like throws are just like the receiver can't catch him. He's a goose egg in fourth quarter comebacks. Like if you got the league in the fourth quarter, you won the game. He ain't got to play the rest of it because he ain't gonna win the shit. And we talking about against the Broncos, right? And that's the one thing I did respect for that game. Have respect for that game was Broncos defense is doing a hell of a job this season. They are not getting any kind of credit for what they've been doing. That defense, and they lost Bradley Chubb to the Dolphins, but that defense is amazing right now because they're the only reason why they're in this game. Because the damn strain Russ.
I think they've only given up. I think they're only giving up 1 touchdown a game.
Yeah, it's something. Their points per game is
big
ridiculous.
Loss to that defense.
No, it is. I want to.
Are they giving up?
I think they got a draft.
Yeah, they
got another linebacker too, right?
Is them giving up though, right?
Nah,
it's not.
Surtain is them giving up. If they were to trade a Surtain, that's them
going nowhere.
Yeah.
No, he's not going nowhere. I kind of get it. Like they got. Look, you're paying
like a 4th.
They got multiple picks. I want to say they got like 2.
Nah, they got a first. They got a first.
They got a first.
They got next year's first.
They got a first.
Okay, but I know they got multiple picks. They got multiple picks,
and I think they got a player too.
Did they get a player? Okay,
so I know they got multiple picks.
And to me, it is a big loss, but I understand it because you're paying the quarterback so much. So you got to get cheap talent. Yes. Like you can't afford.
I can't pay Chubb. I can't re-sign him anyway.
I can't re-sign him for what he's worth.
That makes sense.
So I get the financial move of that. You know what I'm saying? And
who would have thought that out of those quarterbacks that you named from that draft class that we would say that Justin Fields
might be the best
might be the best one, and he's got the least amount of talent to work with, but he still looks better than all of them.
And that's why I was like going into that draft. I was like, bruh, I knew Jacksonville was going to take Trevor Lawrence, so I wasn't going to talk to Jacksonville. But I was looking at the Jets. I'm like, bro, if y'all pass over Justin Fields for this white boy, because I kept talking about, I was like, why the fuck are we not talking about Zach Wilson on this number 2? Because everybody on the draft pundits, it was like, oh yeah, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and everybody else. I'm like, why is this white boy number 2? Because he looked like a kid in a costume in that press conference. Because I didn't know that was what he really looked like. Zach Wilson, that was like a little boy. They're like Dennis the Menace in a Jets uniform. And he over there doing some goofy shit on the
Claypool got traded.
Yeah,
he
went to the Bears.
Yes.
And
For a second round
that's
pick.
finally Justin Fields getting some help. But you could ask probably the Jaguars, any one of those, the Jets, any one of those teams probably would take Justin Fields over the quarterback that they would take. Now, if you go back and redo
Put Justin Fields. I think you put Justin Fields. I think Belichick wanted to get him.
Yeah, he has to be the first one you take.
I thought he was gonna get him, but Bears moved up. Because I think that's the only reason why he got Cam that year, just to see if he can fuck with.
I could do something with this.
Yeah.
I can. Yeah.
But
I do think that Justin Fields is showing promise. Now he got Claypool. He gets some help.
if he could turn Chicago around,
as bad as we thought it was. If he could get some more help in Chicago, we're gonna continue to see that.
It's
Really
really
the rest
gonna
of
be
those
about the
guys,
draft.
it's gonna be an uphill battle for like Trevor Lawrence. If it didn't get better from what we thought was gonna get better to now, I don't think it's gonna get better. Matt Jones is fighting for his job, and who else is it?
Trey.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who
He
knows
just
if he
hasn't
ever
been
even
able to
gets
be
back on the field? Like he
Yeah.
can't stay on the field. So Justin Fields has the best upside, it looks like, in week whatever we in right now.
I think he could be the Deshaun Watson of that draft class.
Shelton, who's in the better QB situation between the Pats and the Jets?
The Pats definitely are, because at least you have a capable backup where you have a question as to who should be the starter. The Jets, I told y'all from the beginning in the draft, before the draft, when they started hyping him up, I don't know if you remember, but I said, here it comes, the great white hype. They hyping him up again. They did the same thing with Sam Darnold when he was not proven in college. I told y'all this guy at BYU was trash. I was watching him get killed, and he looked lost to me then. So what makes them think that he's going to be better now? You know what I'm saying? He's the same thing. He's always been that. I've never believed in Zach Wilson, never will, and that situation is dire.
All right, let's get on with these weekly picks.
Yes, sir.
I didn't want to read most of this shit, honestly.
How bad did you do?
I didn't. I wasn't the worst,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
but I'm close.
Hey, that ain't saying much.
I told you she'll be calling that
Boy,
Vegas line.
Shelton be happy as
He got a
hell.
subscription to.
I don't even know, because I don't even know what picks we made. I really don't. I know
I forget
picked
my
the
picks
Bengals.
every Sunday, bro.
Nah, Shelton know what mix he made. That's why he happy as hell. Looking like
Did I
man,
pick the
why you
Bengals?
say it? Shelton, you went 7-0. You had a good week. Ken, you went 3-4. FIFO, you went 6-1. Lou, you went 6-1, and I went 4-3. So in total,
Hey, y'all niggas keep listening to this dude across from me.
hey, I'm above 500, nigga. But you bet on my picks, you would have got some money. All right,
The Bengals
you would have
not.
got some money. All right. Shelton is still lead dog at 37-17. Right after him is FIFO 34-20. Right after that is Lou at 30-24. Then it's me at 28-25, and then Ken is actually 500, 27-27. So let's move on. We had week 9. Damn, bro, we about to be, bro. It's like, bro, when football season get here, it's like, damn, it's football season back.
Yeah, then you look
But
up,
you
it's like
blink.
week 10. Like what?
When Thanksgiving come, it's already the season. Damn, they're done. You about to go into playoff mode.
Crazy.
Speaking of playoffs, is Philly playing tonight? Then they Astros Philly.
Yep, it was raining.
Yeah, they're up.
They're
I think
winning.
they're up. Yeah, they were up 4-0 last time I looked.
Shit, man.
I want Astros to win this series, bro.
I do too.
want,
They're up though.
I want Dusty to
They're
get
up
his,
7-0
bro.
now.
They came in hot.
7.
Oh, Ken,
When they blew that
Dusty.
first, they blew game 1. They were up 5-0.
Yep.
And blew it.
Hey,
And
Ken,
that was
Dusty has
the
not
series.
won one. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, Ken. I think we said that Dusty had won one, but he has not won one. So Dusty may be
he
Doc
don't got
Rivers.
one.
He
don't
may
got
be the playoff Doc Rivers of basketball. Of baseball.
Chill out, bro.
So he didn't, because he spent all those years as a Cub, right, and never won, right?
He
was all over the place,
went.
bro.
Remember, he went with
The manager.
he went with San Francisco, and he took that guy. He took that pitcher out when they were. I think they were up
Man,
at the time.
I'll
And they
never
blew
forget
that.
it, bro.
Yeah, he blew that game, and that cost them the game. That was game 6. In game 7, they ended up losing. So that was his best chance to win the championship.
Oh man, I knew it when he did it. I was like, this is not a good idea, and it definitely wasn't. But yeah, they are not. I feel he's going to win the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Philly.
It's looking like it.
Week 9 weekly picks. We gonna start this off. We got 7 games. We in the weeds of the season, so these games are actually starting to mean something, or at least give us an outlook on what they mean for these individual teams. The first one I'll say is Packers at Detroit.
Performance in the chat.
Dang.
Performance in the chat.
That's
Packers
shit
versus
rule.
Lions. Lions almost got a good win against the Dolphins. They were up big. They scored, I think they went up 27-17, and they ain't scored shit since.
Yep.
And the Packers had a good second half.
Yes, they did. Strong second half.
Strong. They ran for 200. They showed that you could run on Buffalo.
Yeah.
In Buffalo. Who y'all got?
Mhm.
I got Green Bay in this.
Are they in Detroit?
Yes.
Packers look so bad. This will be a game they will lose.
Yeah.
Or they can win. They need
They
to win.
need to right the ship. 3-5.
It's the worst defense in the league, bro.
This could help them turn things around, especially with the way the division look.
It's the Packers.
They get them an outside chance. Give me the Packers.
Who you got, Lou?
I'll take the Packers too. They got to start winning eventually.
Who you got?
They're not going to catch the Vikings. So get in the playoffs, they got to start winning now.
Who you got, Shelton?
It's the Packers this week. They'll run it down their throat, but it's going to be a struggle.
FIFA.
I got the Packers.
Who'd you pick, Nick?
Green Bay. The last time we all picked a team was just last week. We all lost
They
to
lost.
the was it all of us?
Watch Dan Campbell pull some shit out.
The Chiefs?
We start writing Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that
off,
one
they
time. Yeah,
lose
we
this
all
game.
picked the Chiefs.
Yeah, we picked the Chiefs. All of us picked the Chiefs.
Next game, battle of the AFC East, AFC Beast, Bills at New York, but the Jets. So Buffalo versus New York Jets. I got Buffalo.
Me too. They gonna keep rolling.
You ain't betting on Sauce?
Diggs the best wide receiver in the league. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I gotta chalk it up to that. Sauce is if Sauce lock up Diggs, you already know I'm coming here clank, bro. I'm gonna come here. Well, I don't need him. I got Diggs on my fantasy, so I need him to ball actually. But I got Buffalo. Who you got? FIFA.
Buff.
Blue.
Buffalo. Keep rolling.
Ken.
Zach Wilson started again.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, bro, if Zach Wilson didn't throw a pass, I'll pick the Jets.
Without Breece Hall, man, they just have no shot. He really helped them out a lot.
He did.
Mm.
Speaking of shitball quarterbacks, we have the Las Vegas Raiders going against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville.
Give me the Jaguars.
I don't want to bet on Jacksonville, but I'm gonna go with Jacksonville.
Damn, yeah.
Give me the
But you know
Raiders.
what? Yeah,
I'll take the Raiders too. Ain't no way they that bad.
Yep, give me the Raiders.
There's no way.
They
They
do
are
a
that
goose
bad.
egg against
No
in New
way.
Orleans, bro.
I just can't believe it, bro.
They are that
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
You going Vegas?
I'm not
Lou?
changing my pick.
Before you going Vegas? It's crazy, bro. Josh McDaniels stay getting jobs because of Bell. You know, I forgot. Remember, he turned down the Indy job. He gave him the
Last
okey
minute,
doke.
too, he dipped on their ass.
He gave him the
bro.
okey doke, bro. This nigga acting like he the prince that was promised. And this
Every
nigga
year,
got
bro.
a goose. With Devontae Adams, Darren, what's his name, Waller, Josh Jacobs,
third in
Jingleheimer
the league
Schmidt.
in total offense.
Bro, you can't get a tub.
Adams gotta be sick right now.
Fact.
He riding his
He had
money.
He had 3 yards Sunday.
Riding his
Go
money
home
right
and do the Scrooge
now.
McDucks. He just be swimming in his bed of
He
money.
cussed out the nigga at that
Crying.
Taco Bell in his house. Sarah.
Taco Bell nigga quick. That nigga was- It's harassment.
Hey, the nigga at the Taco Bell talking shit, boy. He said we only serve niggas who get tubs.
Oh, bro, you gotta wait on your order.
And then we got Sheldon. We got a battle of the wash quarterbacks. Who you got? We have the Los Angeles Rams at Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's ugly. That's ugly, but give me Tampa. I think Tom is gonna turn around this week.
Oh, you do?
Mhm.
Where is it at?
In Tampa.
In Tampa.
It
That
matter
don't really
where it's
mean
at.
much.
It's the same quarterbacks.
It
The
don't mean
Rams
much.
ain't got no home field advantage, no way.
Uh,
That shit was all San Francisco this past week.
Mhm.
That's
You-
crazy.
Yeah. Give me Tampa. They said because they went over budget on that stadium, they had to sell the tickets.
Mm.
And it makes 60% of the.
it's a
league
big.
otherwise.
49ers is a huge fan base in California in
They
general.
said any fan base is going to travel, it's going to be 40, 60 away because they had to sell so many to pay for the stadium. They thought it was going to be $2 billion and it was $5 billion. So they had to make up for it in tickets.
$5 billion, bro, to build one thing.
That's where we are.
What you got, FIFO?
Give me the Rams. That Tampa Bay O-line is decimated. Tom Brady's a statue, and Aaron Donald's gonna make that man dance.
The Rams cannot run the ball at all. Like
Neither can the
I think
Bucks.
so.
to the point where McVay says he hates calling run plays.
He said that.
Because-
And Cup hurt,
yeah.
right?
He said he feels like he wastes the play when he
Yeah.
calls a
Oh,
run play.
Cooper has an ankle.
And that's
Cooper Kupp
crazy
is
because he was the
Cooper Kupp
dude.
I don't know if he's out, but I know he's
hurt.
nursing an ankle.
He hurt.
Yeah.
And he the only person they got. And to your point, McVay whole shit of why he was so successful the first
Run
couple of
game.
years was running.
Yeah.
That's just the whole thing.
But I'm going to Rams too.
They were saying, watch out. I think that they've all mailed it in. Aaron Donald ready to retire. They were saying McVay may most likely hang it up when
He was talking about
Donald.
retiring last year.
Yeah, when Donald hangs it up. Because they were saying that he can make a lot more money in TV.
Oh yeah,
He got them
100%.
little commercials already.
Yeah,
and
they
shit
said
too.
Tom Brady, they said his contract would be bigger than Brady's.
Damn, Rams, man. I could show you.
Yeah,
They need Von Miller, bro.
Yeah. Well, for me, because of, I had the Rams at first, but because of all the reasons I said, I'm going with Tampa. I'm sorry, but that they just look like they soul is gone.
They leased that soul for that Super Bowl.
That
That's
soul
gone,
is
yeah.
gone, bro.
Hey,
I don't even
you
know
got
what-
it.
I got my ring. I'm out.
Battle of the black quarterbacks. Both
PJ
of these
Walker?
quarterbacks are still writing their legacies as we speak.
PJ Walker, Geno Smith.
No, but one of you got half of it right. We got the Seattle Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals. I got the Seahawks. Who you got, Lou?
Arizona.
Ken.
Cards.
FIFA.
What are their records?
5-3.
Decent and
5.
shit ball.
3-5 and 5-3, I think.
Yes.
Hold on, come back to me. Go to Shelton.
Sean, who you got?
The Cards still have no identity, but I'm gonna pick the Cards. I think that it's just too much parity right now.
Give me Seattle.
He was just waiting to see what Sean was gonna say.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. people.
I make all my own picks. man.
Okay, I hope so. Up next, we got probably the hottest team in the AFC, lowest of keys. And it's from your state of Tennessee, by the way. We got the Tennessee Titans at the Kansas City Chiefs. Who you got, Lou? Hometown hero?
No, they sneak around and do this shit every year.
Yep.
Damn. Give me the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, I got
Bro, they
KC.
beat the fucking Texans
17-10?
with Malik
He had
Willis.
80 yards pass.
That's
Nah,
like
the
one of my
Willis running
batting
the triple
games, bro.
option.
The win that
They
I
were
was
running the
the win that I was
triple
hype about that was really a shitball game was the Washington Commanders beat the Colts. Hey, Haneke is that dude, bro. I fuck
yeah.
with him.
Tyler Heineke is yeah.
He almost beat Brady.
There should be no
I
question.
don't
about
know.
him having a hard job.
I don't even know why they did that in the first place. I mean,
Yeah, he should have been
I
there
would've
because
kept
he
him.
did good in the playoffs.
It's because
Yeah,
because you give a quarterback a first round grade, somebody always feel like they can tap that.
I can turn him around.
I can turn him
man. Fuck
around.
that. Get him out.
But you'd almost think he was black the way they treated him, because that's how they treat black quarterbacks.
You would think he got some black in him. or something.
Hey,
He's
Terry ain't been awoken like that in a minute. That nigga was hyped to
Well,
play a football game.
If anything, it proved that changing quarterbacks did not help
Right.
the Colts.
Oh yeah, that is
So-
true. 100%.
Who you got, Ken?
Yeah.
KC or
Tennessee, man. I get Tyler Henry Taylor, bro. Hell no.
who you got, FIFO?
Give me the Chiefs.
Shelton.
100% Chiefs. They done lost their duds this year already.
Ron Rivera, bro. We might have to look at him.
They won 4 games. I didn't expect them to do that. I thought they go like 3-13.
Last game we got Monday night game, I believe. It's the Baltimore Ravens at New Orleans Saints.
Oh man,
I got Baltimore.
Mhm.
The fucking Saints, bro.
what happened to Jameis Winston? Is his back ready?
Bruh, he
Is
done, bruh.
He should
Yeah.
retire.
Done,
He's
bruh.
I think
over, right?
Physically, well, a lot of people say he's been done. Period.
Because I saw him dressed this week. Is what threw me
now
off.
physically he can't
Nah,
even get on the
bruh.
court. So
They say he ain't even athletic to take the crab legs like he used to.
yeah. So it's a wrap for him. Such a shame, but damn, it's ugly. Because you don't know what you're gonna give that fucking Saints team.
Bruh, they have Andy Dalton at quarterback. You have no idea what you're gonna get. Because he can throw for
Look what
300
happened
yards. He
last
can
week.
throw
And
for
three
Look at what
touchdowns.
happened last week. Look at what did you?
Facts.
I mean, come on, they shut out. Who they play?
They played
Derek
the
Carr.
Raiders.
The Raiders. They shut out the fucking Raiders.
Yeah, they ain't score points.
Derek
That was on
Carr.
the Raiders more than the
Give me the Ravens, but man,
Give me the Ravens too.
Yeah, Ravens.
That's a sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our two back-to-back picks that we all got.
I'm
We all,
telling you, man, the Saints be sneaking these wins in, bro.
hey, Derrick Henry's back. We all thought he would fall off. The nigga he's the
Always
only
do that
reason
against
why
the
Tennessee
Texans.
reading.
He always do that against the Texans. Though. They showed his last 4 games against the Texans.
No,
He
I'm
got
saying
1,000 yards in
ever
those
since
games.
Buffalo spanked that ass on Monday night.
Yeah.
They've won 5 straight.
No, they lost opening in the season. Oh, you saying
Ever since that was the second loss they had. They came out 0-2 and they've won 5 straight.
Mike Vrabel. Ain't that say? He does a good job. He always does this, but again, they get to the playoffs and that ain't gonna work.
Malik
Having
may be the
Derrick Henry.
difference.
They
Shit.
gonna take him back out.
He may be the steal of the draft.
He's not even gonna stay in this
Give me
year,
the
bro.
Saints. Fuck it.
He's not even for the.
Don't do it, Ken. If
Give me the
you
Saints.
already said about
See, this is why he last.
Give me the Saints.
This is why he's last.
It is why I'm last.
he 500 technically.
But I always
But I'm just saying, out of us, you know what I'm saying, 5, he's in last place.
look. I say it every year. I cannot pick teams. So me being last, I'm
You
surprised
cool
I'm
with it?
500. I was surprised I won last year. You know, I had a
you had to bring that
had a-
last year.
I had a career year last year, like Geno having this year.
You having a Geno Smith year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a Bengals comeback in the second half. I'll tell you that. All right, so we can get to the super chats, but I got a couple questions as we look it up. Super chats. We can get to the NBA shit. I know y'all motherfuckers want to talk about NBA. FIFO's our NBA insider, I guess, for this time because me and Luke give 2 shits. Will Kyrie be traded before Christmas?
Very possible.
What?
It's possible.
It's not an absolute.
No, I don't think it's absolute.
Why,
I don't think it's absolute.
bro? They got all the evidence they need to get him up out of there.
Why would you do that? Though?
Yeah, like I don't get
It's the
why.
NBA. That's why.
If I'm
NBA
Brook-
is supposed to be
if I'm
progressive, bro.
If I'm
Can't have a
Brooklyn-
nigga like him on your team.
if I'm Brooklyn, I'm hoping that the Udoka signing gets the Kyrie shit out of the news.
Yep.
And I tell Kyrie, look, I don't care how you feel, bro. Just
Why
don't
would you
say
think?
nothing.
Why
Whoa,
would you
whoa,
think
whoa,
that?
this
Why
is
would you
real?
think? Why would you think?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a big. It's a
I
huge,
thought that was a joke.
No.
it's a huge possibility.
Yes,
He gonna get it.
no, bro. He's the coach. It's happened.
Yeah.
This is official.
It's solidified. Hold
Yes,
on, bro. I
sir.
thought it was like a
No.
strong.
He's the coach.
Let me see this. The
Bro,
chat
they
correct us if we're
preparing-
wrong.
They preparing for the press conference, bro.
He ain't getting the
So,
press conference.
The way to get that Kyrie shit out of the news is sign Udoka. And now they gonna tell Kyrie, look, bro, just go play. You ain't got to do nothing the rest of the season. Your media obligations have been absolved. We understand how you feel.
Bro, they fired Steve Nash.
Yes.
You
Absolutely.
didn't know the fuck was I at?
I knew
They
that.
want this
I knew
Kyrie
that.
shit
I knew
out
the
of there.
Steve Nash shit, but I didn't say sources. Nets moving
Bruh.
towards hiring
He is their
Udoka as
coach,
head
bruh.
coach. Wow.
100%.
The Nets don't give a fuck.
Damn, y'all must have been talking about this today in the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we was talking about
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
Check.
I told you. I said, okay, so now
Now
I can
listen.
bring the scenario before. FIFO, I know I asked you a question. Hold on. Stay up. Everybody, I would ask you this. I want everybody to answer. If Ime Udoka coaches this team as he is, so now it's falling. That's falling in place. We don't have any bottles here, but we're gonna take an if trip.
Okay.
If he wins a title with this roster
Mm-hmm.
this season,
Mm-hmm.
and with this roster, I just mean KD, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons, and in the NBA Finals, because I said they win the title, and Nia Long is sitting courtside throughout the whole finals. Just the finals. She ain't got to be up to the whole, just the final. If Nia Long is sitting courtside in the finals, bro, and they win the title, is Ime Udoka not top 10 black man, greatest black man all time? I asked this in the chat. Only Kyle answered me. Is he?
Yes.
You know why?
Yes.
He's the nigga of the year.
Nigga of the year.
He definitely you know why.
Yes.
He ain't top 10 all time.
Nigga of the year, most definitely. I don't know if he top 10 all the time.
He up there.
We have to have a longer discussion.
I don't know, bro.
But it would definitely be.
It's one of them Kawhi years. It's one of them Kawhi years. He win a title and he out.
Nah, he is. They put him up there.
But if you the Nets, though, realistically, you want this. You feel like you can handle this Udoka shit, and you tell Kyrie, bro, look, just. If you want us to absolve you of not talking to the media all year, then do that.
No, they've already done that.
Okay, so now perfect.
Yeah,
you ain't got to talk. All Udoka got to come in and do like you did with the Celtics last year. And if I'm the Nets, I'm good. I don't have to move these people. I sign Kyrie if they show that they can win with it, and we pass this.
Yep. 100%. Look,
y'all just like y'all some sweep the shit under the rug.
No,
This is New York media, bro.
It's like five niggas in the world that could do what Kyrie Irving does.
This ain't the Tennessee news, bro, where you can do some goofy shit and next week be on another shit.
Look, let's look at it like this, right? What did KD say going into the season?
I want everybody fired.
Either the GM goes,
I go.
Either the GM or the coach goes, or I'm not coming back.
He came back though.
He came back, but 7 games in, they fired the coach.
Well, they only have 1 win.
But okay, so this says to what KD was talking about.
I know that. I understand that.
So, but what does that say to the organization? What does that say about you don't know what the fuck y'all doing.
If I'm KD, I'm right.
Exactly.
Y'all should listen to me.
And y'all should listen to me. Yeah. Now you're in a better situation. Right now, obviously, KD.
Damn, unless they were losing on purpose.
KD didn't know.
We didn't even
know because they lost tonight too.
They didn't try before.
KD ain't know that the Udoka situation was going to happen. Everybody assumed he was going to go back in Boston, right? So now you have
arguably one of the best coaches.
One of the best coaches. And what did he do in Boston?
Turned it around.
He turned it around through defense. And what is Brooklyn missing? They're not missing the offense. Even with Ben Simmons averaging 4 shots a game, these boys are still putting up points.
Need that. If I could get Ben Simmons to play like lockdown defense and just be present.
Yes. Now they do. I think they do need to get they do need to go get another big body because they just lack physical presence on the court. However, Udoka is the guy to turn this around, and it's early enough to turn it around.
He turned it around in Boston. He did it last year in Boston. If he can simulate the same
KD
thing,
bro.
KD old.
I was gonna say KD
still get 40 when he wants to.
Y'all were talking about
he still get 40 when he wants to.
And what is he doing for him?
KD right now is better than Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were last year.
I'll say this though. As much as I would be entertained with that happening, which y'all said, y'all talked about a lot of glossy shit, like it was a dream.
What
and glossy? Everybody getting blowjobs and no one's getting called out.
Like, just like Boston was last year.
No, we know what Boston's success was. Ime was doing what he did.
He got free reign,
and he had free range. You know what I'm saying? He ain't get, bro. He's locked in, bro. He locked up in New York, bro. If he even look at a woman or some other shit like that, bro, he out of there. So my thing is like he's on a short leash.
He's scared straight. Like he could. If he go there and try that, he got a problem. Like everybody's gonna be
the nigga
watching.
Who has the balls to cheat on me alone, bro. He ain't scared.
Everybody watching, bro.
He ain't scared of shit. I'll tell you that.
He's giving him a shot again. He in the dog
and he slept with the CEO wife.
Bro, going to home and he going work. All I'm saying is that Ime's on a short lease and this team is on a short lease. They got like 1 year. This is the year. I feel like the Nets ownership and all that, they pushing all their chips in. If they bounce out in the second round, I think a lot of staff members fired. The whole team is blown up. The Nets are whatever the fuck.
I think if you get Udoka, you're not blowing up this team. Because Udoka is not the type of coach you go get to say you got 1 year.
Why is he available then?
Why is he available? Because the Boston Celtics didn't want to lose him for anything, which is why they suspended him indefinitely, but technically for 1 year. Because if it was that egregious, you would have let him go. But you know how valuable he is.
That's not why they didn't let him go.
So why they didn't let him go?
Because he slept with the CEO wife, bro. It's messy.
What do you mean? So then you cut ties.
He could, bro. It would expose all the shit.
What do you? No.
Oh, you said no.
Hold on, Luke.
You saying why they didn't just let him go?
Matt Barnes talked, I'll pass you, Sheldon. Matt Barnes talked about, bro, this situation is a lot crazier than y'all think. Because remember, he came out the game, was trying to defend Udoka. Then he got a phone call from a homeboy. He said, next day he posted like, nigga, I'll take all that back.
So then why not cut him? So you mean to tell me right now, Nick, you run a multi-billion-dollar organization and you have a subordinate being insubordinate and doing crazy ass shit. You're not gonna fire him?
FIFO, if the Nets sign him, don't they lose him for?
No, because this was an organizational.
That's what it is.
Celtics suspension. It was not an NBA suspension.
They're not gonna stand in the way of it. They said they're not.
Be right.
Came out with a statement and said we won't stand in.
I know,
the way
but you
of
said they were losing for nothing, right?
No. My point is the reason why the Celtics suspended him was because he's valuable.
Exactly. Right.
No. FIFO. The reason why they suspended him and not fired him was because if they fired him, they would be liable and be on the hook and owe him money for being there. The only reason that was in the news today. That's the only reason they suspended him.
In addition to that, they didn't want anyone to pick him up. That's the reason that we know
the
story. Like Stephen A. Smith said, this happens all the time.
So how can he get picked up now?
Because
the Nets don't care.
No. I don't think they didn't care about him getting picked up. They didn't want to pay him. So the thing about it is, that's why they said exactly.
That's part of it. It's not just money.
We wouldn't know about this if they didn't care about him getting picked up.
No. The thing about it is that they wouldn't be able to sign with the Nets. He wouldn't be able to sign with the Nets if they cared about him getting picked up. They didn't care who signed him. They just wasn't going to pay him. So we suspend you and we say you're free to go to another team. That means y'all can come get him if you want him, but we're not going to cut him because we're going to have to pay him. So that's the only reason he's still there. That was in the news today.
I do think this is a good point that M-Tron Z brought up in the chat. He said, I wonder how the women that work for the Nets feel. That's a good point. That's real interesting how they feel about it. Well, they probably
especially if they know the details more than we do.
It's right there. It's Boston, New York. They somebody know something.
That's what I was gonna say. It really depends on the details of the situation because from the way it sounds if you got consensual in there anywhere, all they got to do is not be consensual, and they shouldn't feel no kind of way. It just really depends on what really happened.
Slippery slope right there.
It is.
I mean,
but basketball wise, you take the risk.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if I'm the Nets, because again, you have this situation with Kyrie. Like all of this shit is going on there anyway. If I can get that out of the news, I definitely don't want to be tied to anti-Semitism.
Be messy,
bro. It's the messiest shit I ever seen.
Kyrie, Ben Simmons,
you throw Ime on this.
I was gonna say I want like an inside. I want cameras to follow them.
I wish they did Hard Knocks for basketball for just this team.
I would definitely watch
this team.
They had a camera following them this season.
I just want to see how Kyrie
this point out, bro. I would love to see.
I just want to see Kyrie walk through a Jewish community and see what kind of conversation.
Did y'all hear what practices were like with Steve Nash? Like they're saying like it was basically a shit show. Like there was no control, there was no organization, there was no Again, what I ask about teams is what's the identity?
Yeah.
And with Steve Nash, there was no identity. We know by the personnel, we're going to get points. We know that. But how are we getting points? What type of offense? They didn't run no offense. It was Kyrie, KD, go be great. And that was it. So when I look at this whole shit, Ime is the right guy. He does put more flames on the shit, but you know what? It covers all of the little other shit that's happening.
Yeah, and why not if you the Nets? It can't get no worse.
Yeah,
it can.
No, it can't. No, it can't.
Kyrie made sure that it got worse, bro.
Nah,
they wasn't even dealing. Most of the shit that we talking about ain't got nothing to do with basketball with us and Nets, bro.
But that's gonna. I think that's
what I'm saying, bro. Most shit we talk about, bro. Like they got swept last year. We shouldn't really be talking about them as much as we doing now. Because they're not even a team that we should be on our radar. But niggas still pick.
No, they should be because KD is still a top 5 guy. Kyrie is still a top 5 talent. Like they still have a lot of basketball. Can't
side when you said KD is still a top 5 guy.
He is.
I bring Udoka in and we start winning. That's basketball.
That's a big if, bro.
That's not a big if.
Then if not, I mean, what
do you mean that's not a big if?
That's not a big if.
Bottom of the total.
So
you telling me that the Brooklyn Nets don't have a top 7 talented roster
with Udoka?
The wins are not going to be that easy because if you say they had a top 5-7 roster, why only got 2 wins?
Because of Steve Nash.
So it's all Steve Nash.
Steve Nash is 85% of the problem.
85% of the problem is Steve Nash?
I can't say that, FIFO.
Yeah,
85%.
The only reason I can say
that. 15 split up between KD and
they split the rest.
7.5.
Yeah, 7.5.
7.5 is for a kid who's on public trial for
7.5 between the two.
It doesn't. Yeah, you can't really say that though, because the middle of the season. If it happened during the summertime, before the season started, we could be having a different conversation. But to come in and make an impact on a team like that, that's in disarray, with a Ben Simmons on it, by just Ben Simmons or just Kyrie or just KD, then that's just too much to ask. Like, it's too much to ask him to come in and right that ship right away. That's going to take the season.
That's his job. He put himself in that position. I don't feel sorry for Udoka. Nah. Like, bro, you had to keep it in your pants and you be in Boston.
No, I didn't say I felt sorry. I didn't say I felt sorry for him. I'm just saying it's not going to be easy for him to do that.
I mean, it shouldn't be.
I don't think it's going to be just easy. I'm not saying that he gets there and all of a sudden they go on a 10-game win streak. I'm not saying that. But at the end of the day, the easier of the two things to coach is defense.
It's better now than it was yesterday.
100%.
Is it?
Yes. How is it not?
People ain't talking.
Wait. Hold on. Is Udoka a better coach than Steve Nash? Yes or no?
That is without question.
Okay.
And we got a bigger story than the Kyrie story.
Yes. Also, does Udoka,
in the worst way.
Does Udoka bring defensive credibility to that team? Yes or no?
Yeah.
He bring a lot of baggage too.
When is he gonna teach it though?
Bro, we got Kyrie.
KD got baggage. Kyrie got baggage. Simmons got baggage. They all got baggage.
So then y'all a heavy ass team, and that's why y'all can't get over the hump.
You want to talk about baggage?
Look, man. At the end of the day, they're gonna be a better team with Udoka than without.
This is a better situation today than it was yesterday.
But you don't have. But FIFA, when are you going to implement this new super defensive scheme you're talking about? Because I don't know when you got time to do that. One, and then two, that's not going to make all the difference. It's not going to be taught. Once again, you can't teach that overnight. You ain't going to change these guys' minds overnight. That's going to take some time.
They said it was going to be overnight. In Boston didn't take overnight either.
Boston was 500 going into the All-Star game last year.
Thank you.
What I'm saying is he still had a full offseason to implement that stuff. Now, it took them time to get in gear.
They hated him the first half of the season last year.
Correct. And when they saw when they saw their way wasn't working, they went to his and it did. But the point of it is they had an offseason to learn it.
Now I'm with an older team, more veterans who should be more apt to what I'm putting down.
Because he's coming in with credibility.
They didn't know me.
But that's opposite of what you're saying, though. You got older team veterans who set in their ways. That's what you got.
Now, if you Steve Nash, you know what you're doing. Yep. If you got someone that went to the finals last year, KD and Kyrie would be dumb not to listen to him. I think those guys are pretty knowledgeable basketball, regardless of how we feel about them off the court. They're not going to resist having a good coach come in there and right the ship. That was what they were crying about. Both of them hated Steve Nash. So now we fixed that. Shut up, Kyrie. Don't say nothing else in the media, and let's go hoop.
Oh, yeah,
like it's better than it was
that's
yesterday.
never worked. Yeah, telling Kyrie to shut up and dribble.
But we talked about that.
No, he's not available. No, you over there laughing. He's legitimately not available for press. There's not going to be no camera, no microphone, no questions.
And you think that environment that we're describing is environment for success?
What I'm saying is it's better than what it is.
What? Just because he can't talk to the press don't mean he can't talk.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel you.
He wasn't talking in that tweet, was he?
But he was talking with that reporter.
Whatever you want to do, bro, just do not come up on this podium.
Bro, that's to me, that's too much. That's messy as fuck.
How?
That's what I just told you.
That's what he want, though. Like,
they still gonna be better than the Knicks.
If you just
they're still gonna be better.
Are they better than the Knicks now?
Not today.
Oh, okay.
Once they sign Udoka, they are.
Oh, okay.
Bet that.
We'll see that. We'll see that.
Bet that.
Why you?
Hype up. Kyrie hell Hitler.
The one, yeah, the player that we should be talking about is Donnie Mitch. And I told y'all coming into the season, he's the best shooting guard in the fucking league. And y'all got these beige motherfuckers arguing on the side while Donnie doing buckets. That's true. Leading the league in the league. He probably lead the league in points, something like that. I know he's dropping over 30. He got more than Devin Booker. I know you that.
I give you that.
5-1.
Yeah.
5-1.
No, you called it. I give you that.
Don't give him that shit.
Don't give it to him.
I think Donovan Mitchell was shit. I ain't gonna lie.
And he killed my Knicks. Bro, he killed the
Knicks. He did.
Josh Bros. My opinion on him is fluid, but as of now, Zach Wilson sucks. You guys were correct. However, Jets by 100 this week versus Buffalo. Let's go, bro. If y'all beat fucking Buffalo,
It would be a Jets thing to do to beat Buffalo.
it would be a very.
Their defense is nice. I like their defense.
Yeah, but you know, it's what year 2, Josh. So we'll see. Hold our hope, bro. Kadarius Toney, wide receiver to the Chiefs. Thoughts?
He was he's extremely talented. He has like sneaky AB talent in my mind. However, he just never got with the program with the Giants. He didn't seem like he was really committed to be even though he had a tattoo of him, a tattoo of the Giants on his back.
He got the Giants logo on his back.
He had his number with New York and shit like that.
Yeah.
On his back. It's a nice tap, but
Poor decision making. I definitely don't want him
It's
on my
like
team.
But I think if Andy Reid is a rehabilitation place for offensive talent, so I think he could do some shit there. But it depends on if he get his mind right.
That's an Andy Reid guy. That size, that speed, that shit.
He can make some moves. If he stay healthy.
It'll be a game in the playoffs. We like, damn, I forgot he had him.
Kadarius
He got like
Toney.
8 catches, 173 yards.
And it's Mahomes, so he gonna
Facts. It's gonna.
You go to
play
Daniel
off.
Jones to Patrick Mahomes.
It's definitely gonna play off.
We were actually just talking about this team. Who's more toxic, the Nets or the Lakers?
The Nets, 100%. We're not talking about
Oh,
who's more
man.
talented. We talking about who's more. No, we just talking about toxic. We're not talking about who's more talented.
Oh, toxic
You know what I'm
is the Nets, definitely.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But it's barely. It's
Barely,
by a
like,
hair.
They was
Right,
popping
right.
champagne winning this first game. They were like 1 and
Shit, they needed
5.
to?
1 and 5.
At
They
least,
popping
bro.
champagne.
No,
It
you
was
got
bad,
to.
bro.
With Kobe turning over in his
It don't
grave.
matter.
No,
1 and 5.
No.
Yes.
You had to. The same way with
To get
like
the bad
David Blatt.
energy out of there.
Remember David Blatt in Cleveland? No, it's not even about the energy. It's like, bro, like, first of all, you're a black head coach, right? This is your first win. It's gonna be first of maybe not that many this
I get
season.
where you're
but
going, bro, but that shit
You gotta
is
celebrate
bad,
it.
bro.
You gotta celebrate.
You got to try to get
Turn it around.
Yeah, get
Okay.
those moral
Okay.
victories.
I was looking at it
people
totally
hyped.
the other way. Like,
Nah, man,
Yeah, nah,
because
you gotta celebrate it.
morale was low,
yeah.
so you got to try to find something.
Shit, their 3-point percentage is low.
Well, we already
They can't
know
shoot
that.
for shit. Even LeBron game 5 talking about hey, we can't shoot for shit.
Does AD get enough blame for what's going on?
Huh?
Does AD get enough blame?
No, he's not.
Okay.
Not in the
I
media.
ain't think
They're,
so.
But
they're
he needs
blaming
to.
Russ.
Yeah, blaming Russ.
They throwing Russ on the
Russ
spot.
is just a scapegoat. It's just a bad team.
Yeah.
It is
But
a
I mean,
bad team.
shit. Look, the Nets weren't any better,
True.
and that was the thing. I when we did the show Thursday, I said I told Shelton, I said I never imagined a season where KD and LeBron at the time would be 1-8 combined
That's true.
records.
You said that. In the
1-8.
chat. Yeah.
You know, I don't know where I saw this. I don't know if y'all sent it in the IG or the group me or the regular text or whatever. But do you think it's a changing of the guard right now in terms of like the eras of basketball?
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
We're looking at it.
yeah, we're looking at it, right? Like LeBron's team struggling, KD's team struggling, and all of the young
John
guns.
Morant doing good.
Yep. Fucking Detroit just beat Golden State. You know what I'm saying? And that was a damn good game for them.
Yep.
Shit, who else? Who's another? Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? They're around 500. Cleveland, you know what I'm saying? Cleveland's balling. That's a young team. So we're witnessing the changing of eras.
And that was another thing that we were talking about Thursday as well. Is that I was like, LeBron needs to sit his ass down. Like it's over, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's over. Go sit down.
He want his kid, bro.
let the other guys go, man.
He want to play with his kid.
Nobody gives a fuck about LeBron anymore like that.
I won't go that far.
Never thought
All
we'd
right.
see today.
I ain't going that
All
far.
right, I'm telling y'all what it is. Y'all will see
I can't. Right.
it. Prodigy, but you laugh when Shelton and Lou pick Cleveland. I guess that's for you, Nick.
Oh yeah, I'm always gonna laugh.
All right. We them boys. Kawhi is a temporary worker, not part-time.
Definitely a 1099.
Yep.
1099. Kyrie,
Yep.
definitely
You gotta pay your own
1099.
taxes, homie.
Yeah, bro. You do all your filing and stuff.
Again,
yourself,
I think Kawhi needs as much heat for missing games as AD gets,
bro. For Zion.
as Zion gets.
It's
There's a
only
lot
because
of
we
those
seen him
guys.
as that nigga, and we know he could do. Like we seen him be the leader.
We haven't seen him, Nick.
It's been 4
Ain't
years.
that what
bro.
we haven't seen him, Nick.
No, I'm saying we have seen him in his
We have.
career when like
He's stealing money, bro. Man, stealing money.
When was the last time you seen him, bro?
Nigga played 6 minutes.
I saw him.
over
I
there.
saw him the other night off the bench.
I'm just saying,
You
man.
probably
Like,
couldn't believe it. You thought it was a
Hey,
replay.
He's playoff Leonard. All right.
Since when?
when he gets
The last playoffs we seen him in was with Toronto.
I mean, it's a very similar
It's
situation,
this
bro.
year.
They
This
had
is
the
the
news
this is the
report that
year.
said
This is the
his
last
knee
year.
was- His knee similar to Brandon Royce.
Don't say that.
This news report came out.
Don't say that.
He was back.
It's just an observation. That's
Don't say
all. I'm just saying.
Don't wish that on nobody.
Josh Rose, do you think Washington should stick with Heineke
Yes.
for the rest of the year? Or go back to Wentz.
They ain't got shit else they
Not a
got
question.
to.
Gotta finish the question. Yes.
Not a question.
Carson Wentz shouldn't even be in the league.
And
Nope.
McLaurin thinks so too. McLaurin will tell you that.
Yeah.
So it's not a question.
Oh, what? Yeah. Okay. Chief Miyagi. KC's so good, teams get credit for almost beating them. The scariest team in the NFL is the one with the best QB. Dolphins aren't scary because people aren't sold on Tua fully.
Thank you.
All right.
So the scariest team in the NFL is who? The
It's the
the
Bills
Chiefs.
and the Kansas City Chiefs, bro.
Chiefs.
The
Nobody
Chiefs,
else
it's
gives-
always
everybody
the
else we
Chiefs.
just talk about
That's true.
because we got to talk about them. But
To me, it's still the Chiefs because no lead is safe. Like with the Bills, they can shitball second half and be right back in it. With Mahomes, it's like, bro, you can have him by 30 and still lose.
bro, we seen it out the gate when he was facing the Texans at home. Wasn't he down at home like by 25?
Yeah.
And he
You talking
came
about the
back.
playoff-
He came back and won the game. And it was
Easy,
even,
too.
and it was
easy.
and then
wins, too.
Josh Allen, like that first playoff run he had, he was up 10. The one he beat Lamar, then he faced Patty. He was up 10 or 9 or 10, lost the game at home. Like it was like, bruh.
And that's the difference. That's the difference.
Mac Jones, Josh Rose, has been statistically the worst QB in football this year. So can't get much worse than that, Shelton.
That's not all Mac though. That's putting defensive damn coordinators as the offensive play caller. What the hell is that's not all Mac.
Which we called out at the beginning of the year. I told you that. I was like, we put two of the worst coaches you could have as his coordinators who had never done that job. So you're right, FIFO. It's not just on Mac. And I still would take Mac. I still would take Mac over Zach.
I would too.
Y'all be talking about the
would too.
Patriots
Mac
being
over
shit,
who?
but they got a
Right.
better record than the Bucks.
Mhm.
Right.
And that's Tom Brady, right?
Josh Rose again. Kingsbury needs to go, but let's be honest about Kyler. He's not it. He can make some special plays, but you can't consistently win with his play.
You can't say that
I don't
about
know
him.
I ain't out on
Can't say
Kyler.
that?
yet. No, I ain't out on him.
It's because, bro, we've seen what coaching does. Remember when we saw Jared Goff with what's his name, who was there for a minute before Sean McVay got here?
The Tennessee Titan guy.
Yeah.
what the
Nobody
hell
liked
is his
them, but
name?
Jeff Fisher.
Jeff Fisher.
With Jeff Fisher,
Yeah.
they was shitball, right?
Yep.
Then Sean McVay get there, they go deep playoff run Super Bowl. It's like,
Off
bro,
Gurley.
Huh?
Off Gurley,
Yeah,
bro.
off Gurley. But
he
Goff
was
has
there.
moments, though.
we saw the same goal.
but that
after Gurley left.
game. Remember they had that game against Kansas City where they went 50. It was like 50 points and shit, both sides. It's like, bro,
Goff
coach,
had moments.
you
Goff
could get
had
something out of
moments.
it, bro. If you give Kyler Murray, Eric Bieniemy, or some type of coach like that,
Hey, Bieniemy's
Not
overrated.
Eric.
what you mean?
Bieniemy's
Not
overrated.
He's overrated more than Josh McDaniels.
No, but
Yeah, but
Josh
These are the niggas
McDaniels
that getting head coach jobs. That's
It
what I'm
ain't-
saying,
It
bro.
ain't gonna happen for Bieniemy.
No,
bro.
it's
Bruh,
not.
I can't tell me that. He ain't Mark
It's
Jackson
I've
now.
been
It's
telling
over,
you
bro.
that
Nah,
for
it's not gonna
years
happen.
now.
What you mean? What he do?
what he's not doing is the play calling.
tape
What he
is out.
can't do.
The tape is out.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
essentially.
He's in Kansas City. Is he not an offensive coordinator?
No.
Yeah,
not
but a
anymore.
lot of that is Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. Real talk, bro. Just look it up, Nick. Look it up.
Let me ask you-
Look at
here's
how
the-
Pat
let me ask you-
Mahomes. You ain't gotta ask me nothing. Just
I just
look
have
it
one
up
question.
and look at how Pat Mahomes talks about Bieniemy. Obviously, he's not gonna dog him on like in the media, but read between the lines, bro. And also look at how they interact on the sideline.
Let me ask you
That
this.
shit is not all
Let me
roses.
ask you this question: the Sean McVay tree that's out there right now, did they get their bones by doing anything good, or was it just Sean McVay
Bro,
to give
here's the
credit
thing.
to?
Here's the
I'm just
reason-
saying, like, how many head coaches has Sean McVay tree got him? We got Zach Taylor. We got was Brandon.
Shanahan on that tree, I think.
No, not that
Yeah.
one. Not Sean McVay. They always grew up together.
But the thing
There's
is,
a couple of these. Mike McDaniel. There's a couple of these head coaches from Sean McVay's tree. Oh, the dude from the Vikings. He's actually winning games. But
The thing about that
Bieniemy's
too,
thing
FIFO,
though,
is
he's interviewed for the jobs. Like he's actually been in the rooms and, for lack of a better word, shitted it down his leg. Like these teams have responded to him
That's a
coming in,
bullshit reason,
having
bro.
bad interviews,
That's a
and not being
bullshit
able to
reason.
close the job. Not being able to close for a job
Bruh,
is not
Adam
a bad
Gase
reason.
crackhead. Bruh, Adam Gase crackhead eyes was coaching the Jets.
Hey,
Shelton, what you saying?
I was just saying that Andy Reid himself says that Bieniemy does call the plays. He said people always say that he don't, but he does. He literally calls the plays.
Why you rolling
So
your
that's
eyes?
a
I ain't shit.
that's
Who
an
created them?
that's an
Who
that's an
created them?
I don't want to
overstatement.
give that black man no credit.
Well, you know what? I can't really even speak on that because we can say the same thing for the other 30 coaches that are white in the league too, who created their plays. Not all of them came up with these schemes. So in saying that, it can be done. We just don't know. Some of these guys got a shot. Joe Judge got a coaching job. Joe Judge was special teams coordinator. Did he call plays?
I'm not
He's
saying
doing it
that
now.
he can't call plays. Maybe he can call plays. However, I am saying that he's interviewed for a lot of jobs and nobody looks at him as a head coach.
And you don't see a problem with that at all. You blame him more than the process.
I'm starting to blame him.
Hey man,
All
right.
Yep.
I can't do it. I've just seen too many black quarterbacks shafted. Black coaches shafted for me to say that it's just him. I would really like to be in one of those interviews. I really would.
They get shafted before they have the opportunities. The only reason that I'm saying is because he was the golden boy a couple of years ago, and he was given the opportunity to interview for these positions, and no one pulled the trigger.
Something's up.
Other coaches are complaining about not even having the opportunity to get in the room.
Yeah.
He's been in the room a couple of times.
Something's
bro.
up, Shelton. So
Mm-hmm.
TJ Clark, if you go on Indeed right now, you can see the Nets are looking for a PR manager. That's funny. I should actually do that. Kev Hamilton. Luka was targeting Ben on defense all game. He isn't the same defensively. Celtics had a foundation of great defenders. Nets don't. FIFO.
I feel that.
All right. Last one. Did y'all hear what the Golden State Riders say about podcasts? I don't know what that means.
Nah.
What did he say, Ghost Man?
Golden State writers.
Yeah.
Oh,
About Draymond Green's podcast?
probably podcasts in general. If they,
Let's see. It's playing in the chat, Ghost Man. Let me see if I can look it up. Because nope, I can't find anything. Let me see if he says something on there in the chat.
That's a good point, Green Beans. Black coaches do get those fake interviews all the time. Jared Jones is good for that. Also, did y'all see he said that black coaches get fake interviews all the time. A lot of times these coaches are already predetermined who they're going to pick. Basketball podcast.
I'm speaking of him getting real interviews.
Basketball podcast not have inside sources.
They basically saying fans shouldn't have podcasts.
Oh,
okay.
You know, you get those hometown like podcasts, people that do break down their teams and things of that nature.
Oh, you're saying they're in the rooms with the press conference?
Well, beat reporters
writers.
are mad because it's like muddy in the water.
Because people with podcasts are in the media room?
Well, just muddy in the waters, period, about coverage. Not
No,
even if
that's
they're in
great.
Get better at your job.
They just hate us. I'm not agreeing. I'm just
they mad
They don't need to worry about podcasts. They need to worry about
doing their
damn
job.
players.
This is all about entertainment.
If
That
we
journal-
in the room as media, hell, I'll do that.
That capital J journalism shit dead. It's all about who can I get the most clicks, likes,
they see
views,
people coming for their spots and they just commenting on it. In my
Because
opinion,
nobody want to hear that bullshit. They be spewing
old white
sometimes.
man.
It's just like taxi drivers and Uber.
Yeah, they're
Come
trying
on
to
now.
gatekeep.
Shit
They're trying to
changing now.
gatekeep. Essentially, is what it is.
Shit's changing.
Appreciate it, Ghost Man. 231. Appreciate everybody tonight for kicking it with us, man. Another unfiltered conversation about sports. Brought to you by Dad in Studios. So yeah, we'll be back Thursday. And we'll catch you guys.
See another easy ass Eagles win. Eagles versus Texans. Oh my gosh, that's Thursday night football.
Oh, that's this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, real quick. Did y'all see where the coach fired their offensive coordinator who's black, and he does not call plays?
Wait, what?
The coach
They
fired
found
their
some-
offensive.
Do Frank Wright still call the plays?
Oh,
they
call and
fired
show on
Bob.
Thursday.
But they
Yes.
fired the black coordinator.
Yeah, he was the only one.
Yes, Rob. We'll do a
Okay.
call and show Thursday.
Okay.
They probably gave him more money. They're like, look, bro, just take this L with those $10
Right.
on your
Right.
chest, bro.
Get out while
Yeah.
you can, bro. That's what they said.
All right. Well, we'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
We already
Peace.
finished.